Hello, you are now watching ProBots. This is day 6, and only 8 bots remain, 2 of which will be joining the scrap pile after this episode. But before we get started, make sure you check out our forum to stay up to date with everything going on here at ESChamp and to get involved as well. But to get super involved, make sure you check out our Crown Club in the links in the description below. Make sure you give that a click and check it out. You get some really cool perks and some member exclusive content. We're releasing some new content recently, so definitely look at all that. And as always, thank you so much to all of our Crown Club members and to our bot authors and to everybody watching. Well, let's go ahead and give our Crown Club the kudos they deserve. Thank you so much, Simo, for your support. And thank you, Endersword, for joining us.
Oh, no problem.
Today. How are you doing there?
Oh,
buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, and I'm excited to see some knockout bot action.
Yeah, 2 of them going in the straight. Who do you think is going to get eliminated today? Can we go ahead and just look at our bracket right now? I'm stoked.
Yeah, I think
welcome everybody to ProBots, by the way.
Yes.
It's awesome to have you all here. Yeah, this is really cool stuff. We've got 8 more bots going at it. We're pulling up the bracket right now. First up, we're going to be looking at Ketroc versus MicroMachine. This is going to be a clash of 2 titans. I was going to say, it's like when a rock meets Arbit, it's just going to be 2 rocks bashing against each other for a while, I think. They're just so hardy.
It's going to be like a stream of rocks attacking each other. Yeah.
Very slow. Yeah, I think that one, this is going to probably, our first one, I'm at least anticipating our first one to be the longest best of 3 that we have tonight.
And the craziest part, like, even when you said that and me knowing what it was, it's crazy to think that that's the losers bracket.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we're looking at the winners bracket right now. We are going to be starting with the losers bracket tonight, which will be Ketroc, MicroMachine, Spudde versus Jensiiibot. Here we go. It's pulling up now.
And yeah, MicroMachine is a multiple-time winner. Ketroc, one of the newer bots, but a really strong one. So yeah, it's kind of amazing to see that they are both down there, although it's already the semifinal, so no biggie. But I do definitely think that one of these 2 has a chance to come up and still potentially even make the final.
I've still got my hopes on Jensiiibot.
Yeah.
I think Jensiiibot will at least get out of this round. I did see a little bit of discussion that that one should be a very close match as well. They're both trying to snipe each other from what I could gather. So that should be interesting.
That will be interesting. Jensiiibot, we talked about a lot last week, as being the basically the most human-like in terms of its control and ability to control multiple groups of units with kind of different objectives. It really does look like it's a human-controlled bot at some times.
It's very natural. It flows very well. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see these. Now let's go ahead and take a look back at our upper bracket real quick. We'll pull that back up. We do have Tier versus Spiny. After the break, we'll be starting, and then Harvester versus MadAI. Also going to be some amazing games. Spiny has climbed through the ranks, and from last season alone has just come a very long way. It's very, very hard bot to beat. Beat Ketroc. Tier, always a contender.
Tier just a very all-around strong bot that's hard to. It's just kind of hard to exploit in any given way. It's very well-rounded.
Yeah, beating MicroMachine is no easy feat either. So, I still have a part of me that thinks Tier is going to win it all. But I'm still I've got my bet laid down on Jensiiibot. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, all of our bots did receive updates for this week, so we're going to go over those kind of as the games progress, as we're in these best of 3s. But I believe these were the final updates, correct?
I think so. Yeah,
that sounds right to me.
No,
it was not. Okay, so one more round of updates. My apologies. I know there's been some confusion in the Discord about that as well. So hopefully everybody right here, right now, that is watching, all you bot authors still remaining, you get one more update after today if you're still in the tournament. There will only be 6 more moving on after tonight, though. So we'll go ahead and dive into that soon to see who moves on. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for our semi-live finals. I have to join, through the internet, but hopefully you guys are able to are you thinking about doing something in person? Have you talked about that at all with Drek? Nothing? Nope. No one knows anything. I'm just jealous that I can't come up to Canada for a live finals. That's going to be in 2 weeks. In just 2 more weeks, give it a couple more days. On a Saturday, we will be doing our grand finals for ProBots. So make sure, again, you join the forum to stay up to date with what is going on here on ESChamp and to get involved in the discussion. Always cool stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our matches for tonight. Again, we've got 4 best of 3s. We're going to start with that lower bracket, which is going to be Ketroc versus MicroMachine first, followed by Spudde and then Jensiiibot. And then after our break, we'll do our upper bracket. We'll be moving on to Tier versus Spiny and TheHarvester versus MadAI. Quite a lineup tonight, man. These bots have been...
It's a big one. I mean, we're at a point in this that, they're all good.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned, the qualification for the tournament this time was, the top 16 bots out of a ladder of, 50-plus bots out there. And, when we started this, 2 years ago, basically, we were, we only had, 10 in it to begin with. So now we're taking, the top tier of that whole roster. And it's, they're just all really, really strong bots at this point.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And we'll talk about how you can make a bot in just a little bit. But first, we are going to dive into our best of 3, our very first match of the night here in Season 2, Day 6 of ProBots on ESChamp.
Ketroc. Rap RR and Unusuals, MicroMachine.
All right, we are on Golden Wall for our very first game of the night here. Now, one of these are going to be our elimination matches. Our first 2 best of 3s, we will see a bot get knocked out. That's crazy to think that Ketroc or MicroMachine is going to get knocked out right here.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got early on here, Ketroc already proxying a barracks. And the other thing with this is, if you caught it at the very beginning, MicroMachine has already announced that it is going for a fast planetary fortress.
That is very interesting to see, considering that was kind of Ketroc's signature move when this season started. One of the first spots to really utilize the planetary fortress. We saw it at every single base.
So really good.
It works.
Yeah.
I wish more. I want to see a bot do the planetary fortress proxy where you float it up into their main and start building it.
Yeah.
That's worked for me before, by the way. So don't knock it.
Definitely. Everyone's tried it. It's a great strategy. This will be really interesting. Ooh. It's so far away from being done that it's hard to see that a planetary is going to get off at this point. But the bunker here is going down fairly uncontested with 2 little troops there all ready to occupy.
Yeah, they're ready to go. That's one way to shut down the early planetary, I guess, is just even earlier aggression. And yeah, we got our first couple units, or our first Marine on the way. Is that starports coming behind this? I'm sorry, my screen was super fuzzy there for a second.
Yeah, mine was as well.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I kind of like this. It's the bunker and then a turret. I guess just in case it was maybe it's just literally a distraction because it's drawing the fire of these 2 FCVs.
Oh, that is interesting how they prioritize that for whatever reason.
Maybe it's just in front.
Yeah, maybe it could be that simple. Yeah. Either way, it worked out super well for Ketroc. We are going to maybe see a planetary, though. Oh, no, he's canceling the offensive. I was going to say, that's not a whole ton of DPS at this moment. He could absolutely build a planetary.
Yeah, so the engineering bay is almost done. It's just done there now. Is he going to go up to it once he gets the minerals? And, yeah, it is upgrading. He's going to have to repair it. There is enough DPS to take it down before it's done. So he I think
don't
there
know.
is anyway.
I don't think there is. I think it'll be about a
Yeah, you're right.
third of the way left. Or maybe a little less. It's going to be close either way for sure. Oh, Reapers, what do you do?
Either way, repairing would not be a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't see any SCVs getting pulled, unfortunately.
With
Ooh,
the
more
fourth
Marines,
Marine
though.
here, it's going to be a lot closer. He'll have it down, like you said, about a third of the way.
Will it get enough shots off? That's the big question now.
Yeah.
Will it be able to take that bunker down with the repair from Ketroc? I don't think so. No. I think this planetary is going down.
Sure does look like. There come the SCVs that help it.
Okay, here we go. They're brave. They jump down. They spring into action just in time, actually. I think this is just going to be a repair battle until somebody runs out of resources now.
Yeah, definitely. We predicted a long game already. This may be the tug of war that determines it.
Now, do you think this is going to slow and gum up the works enough that nothing else will come out until this battle's concluded?
I think this tank, tank may swing it because the tank, while the bunker is not going to. Well, this is also a thing.
I know what the turret's for.
Yeah.
For Banshees, because MicroMachine is very prone to go Banshees, especially in the past. We do see a starport about to finish, but
this is really counterproductive here. Now the turret is actually drawing the repair away from the bunker, and the bunker is actually going to go down here unless the turret dies first.
They're both going to die at the same time. That is unfortunate. It helped at first, but then it ended up really screwing Ketroc there. Oh man.
Reapers, I think, are trying to climb into the tank. It doesn't work that way. It kind of should.
They think their Master Chief gonna drop a grenade in there or something. There we go. It's cleaned up, and here we go. MicroMachine instantly on the offensive with those Cloak Banshees. But yeah, I don't know if you saw, Ketroc was getting the turret range upgrade, the high-sec auto tracking or whatever it's called, for the Banshees, I'm pretty sure. Now, does he have any turrets at home? I don't think he does yet.
I don't believe so. Just the offensive one built, and there is Cloak and a Banshee coming out, of course. The bunker at the top of the ramp there is pretty good in holding that Reaper at bay.
So we haven't talked about the updates at all. We might as well. Ketroc just had the one, which we just saw in a glorious fashion. That was quite a battle. He changed his TVP bunker contain around in order to hardcore MicroMachine contain. It kind of worked for a little bit, and it would have worked, I think, had those SCVs been repairing. Would have contained for a lot longer. It wasn't meant to kill. It was just meant to keep MicroMachine busy and stop him from doing what he does. So
for sure. If it had lasted long enough for that tank to get there, then the tank could have eventually splashed to death the SCVs and taken it over, but not quite in time.
That's all right. What a start here. Again, this is just our first best of 3 if you're just tuning in. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, do we have air units out already?
We do have, so the Banshee is around. The turrets are there. So there's 2 in the main here, 1 at the natural. Even with the high sec, though, they are not in range of this Banshee just yet, but will provide vision at least.
Now I just think what MicroMachine says is just meaningless. Cancel offensive continues. He just continues to kill production.
Just saying things.
He's just saying things at this point. Yeah. This Banshee might get an add-on, though. Okay, SV does go over to repair. Nice repair code here. It's working nicely. Just it's not an overcommittal. You don't see the whole mineral line getting pulled to repair it. Just the one. That's all he needs.
Banshee taking a couple of big shots there, and we'll have to back out.
Ooh, MicroMachine sees that upgrade, that turret range upgrade. I remember last season, the bots were having trouble with that. MicroMachine was having trouble with that, if I recall correctly. So he must have really gotten this Banshee control on lockdown. So far, it's working really well. Haven't lost a Banshee yet. It's just doing a little light harass. This is solid stuff. Okay, now let's talk about MicroMachine's updates. This list is a little bit longer here as he relaunches his offensive. Oh, was there anything that stood out to you, or should we just start reading them?
Just I might as well just list them off. There's enough there.
Well,
and they could all come into play.
Yeah, well, and there is some anticipation against maybe future opponents as well already put in. You can see there's added better micro against parasitic bomb, things like that. What else we got? Change the order of the strategies a little bit. Improve the Marauder build logic against Protoss. So yeah, MicroMachine is just really getting kind of squared away for winning this and wants to be ready for his next opponent already.
Yeah, definitely. They never short the work into it. They're always tinkering, and improving. This is probably one of the most edited bots over the course of the entire life of the tournament. And the Cyclones here are getting some work done on this planetary fortress. The Viking is definitely helping out and giving that vision, and they are able to take down the PF.
My favorite update here at the end: fixed a bug where a lot of engineering bays would be built.
That was on feature last week.
Yeah.
I think it made, what did we say? It made 13 or 14 of them.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the, as you predicted too, pretty much right after the broadcast, as soon as MicroMachine saw it, or the creators of MicroMachine saw it, he's already there editing it and fixing it, and he's like, I worked on it until my girlfriend yelled at me to go to bed. So you can see the dedication that goes into these bots, especially as they get up to these higher levels here. Oh man, these Banshees are gonna get picked off. Get out! Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, a lot of anti-air here, but with the loss of that natural base, it's kind of it's a bit of a losing tug of war here now, as MicroMachine has taken his third, and the Cyclones eventually really good at dealing with things like the Vikings, but with Cloaked Banshees still underneath, they still got to be pretty careful.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing Ketroc's signature style a little bit that we've seen throughout the season as well, just the very heavy air Terran, where you see a lot of Banshees, Vikings to support them, and the Cyclones prioritizing the Banshees right now, obviously, because they can't see the Vikings, because they can't see the Banshees. Yeah. So I'm surprised we don't see, there's not a Raven on the field for MicroMachine, is there?
Yeah, it doesn't appear so, and we've definitely seen cases where Banshees are able to pull back from essentially a lost game, just because the other side can't really deal with them. Particularly once they're like out on the map, is they just kind of stay cloaked long enough, and they do so much DPS that if you're wrong for just a second or two, you can lose units.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah, the sky battle will continue, and get comfy, everybody, because I think my prediction might come true here, where we're just going to have a very long TVT, but we'll see. This natural for Ketroc is actually really, really slow. It's already 10 minutes in. Yeah. I kind of wasn't watching that.
Well, he had one.
Down.
Well, he had one, but it blew up.
Was my screen has been going fuzzy.
Yeah, mine's been a little fuzzy here too.
It must have frozen during that part.
He had the planetary before, and it was killed by the Cyclone. So this is
my mic will get louder in just a second for you all. I did just fix it.
So yeah, MicroMachine canceling the offensive, just lying to us at this point.
Yeah, liar. A lot of Cyclones, and they're supposed to fare well against this composition out of Ketroc, and they kind of are, but just the lack of the Raven is really hurting them right now.
Yeah, definitely. If they had that detection, it's been the Banshees that are kind of leading the Vikings. So when they try and dive on a Viking, they're taking a lot of shots. There is a Raven there with them now. As long as they can keep the Viking numbers low enough that the Raven just doesn't get insta-killed, then they should be okay. Yeah, and there's a lot of Vikings with it as well.
Look at that! Look at that nice shiny upgrade on the production tab there.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I always love some battlecruiser play, and yeah, MicroMachine just really seems really far ahead of Ketroc right now. Ketroc had really strong start, really kind of seemed like slowed down MicroMachine, but then MicroMachine just shot ahead. He's already on 3 bases, 79 workers to 44, and double the army supply. This push might just kill Ketroc.
Yeah, we'll see. The Cyclone upgrade will also be done here in a second. Can he make short work of the PF yet again? Lock it on, and yeah, that pretty much melts down even with the full repair on. With that,
yeah, no wonder I missed it when my computer just happened so fast. Jeez. All right, so another base down, and yeah, it looks like Ketroc is just slowly getting strangled out, but we have seen his survivability before, and it definitely he lasts longer than just about any bot in a situation like this rightfully should, honestly.
Yeah, he's even got kind of a third base building there. May not come into play as this main is almost mined out.
Yeah, this is where we see the army gets cornered. This is their final rally point. This is where they come home to get repaired, and they can't go anywhere past this. So if these Cyclones are able to get in here, we finally have a Raven. MicroMachine heard me talking smack, and Finally put a Raven with the army here, and now he is going to really be able to take out these Banshees. There's only a little bit of anti-air left. And I think MicroMachine is going to take game number 1. It is looking that way. Oh yeah, even up on upgrades.
He's still being weirdly hesitant here. Given that he's got the Raven, he should be able to see these Banshees, but it's not really attacking them.
Maybe he's waiting for enough lock-ons. Because if he used too many lock-ons, he's like, okay, I got to fall back until I've got some more lock-ons or something. But yeah, they're being very tentative right now. Another Banshee comes in. Eventually, this will all die. Ketroc is just about out of money. He's just barely got 5 minerals coming in at a time here, but yeah, it's gonna do it. All right.
He's got this third base. He's gonna make a comeback.
Yeah, right. Watch him last 30 more minutes with that.
Any moment now.
Any moment now.
It is not unprecedented for some bots to fail to look for other bases. That will not be the case here, but we have seen that in the past.
Yeah, not so much these days. That really seems to be in every bot at this point, where they just go everywhere on the map until they find something.
Yeah.
So,
There we go. Does find it, and that is it.
Time to concede, says MicroMachine. Yes, it is, as he will be taking game number 1. And this is a best of 3, so Ketroc ain't out of it just yet. I liked that little rush he did with the bunker.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, and like you said, it almost worked. It was just kind of weird how that repair worked out, that it really drew attention away from the bunker, which turned out to be very detrimental. And then that tank came in just too late to do anything about it.
Yeah, it was almost there on time. Yeah, right as I was saying, oh, this is going to slow everything down. Yeah, we see the tank just coming in, but wasn't quite there on time. Could have definitely changed things up, but we've got game number 2 loading up, and we will be starting that very soon for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Again, if you have just tuned in, this is our first series of the night. Be sure to hit that thumbs up arrow below the stream if you have not already. Thank you for checking all our links out below in the description as well. But yeah, it's looking good so far. We're gonna have such a great finals. I'm super excited for our top 4. I believe, next week we're gonna eliminate 2 more bots, and then we will have our top 4 to have our grand finals for, and we'll finally maybe make an award this year for our bots. We've talked about it, but we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's just going to be like a GIF. It's going to be like a computer reward.
Oh yeah, no, no real effort will actually go into it now.
Of course not.
It would be nice to one day give out some prizes or something to these creators. That's how you, the fan, can help out. If you check out our Crown Club membership, you get a lot of really cool perks. We even have a new episode of what's it called? Oh my god, my brain just stopped. PostBots. Yeah, I was like, it's something clever like ProBots. PostBots. So definitely check out our Crown Club membership for some exclusive content. We'll be taking a little look at that in just a little bit after our break here. So stay tuned for all of that. But yeah, coming up in our next game here, do you think we're going to see, I'm imagining the same thing, probably that quick try to contain, it seems very specific for MicroMachine.
Yeah, and I think, again, on different maps, it may work differently. And will MicroMachine go for the fast PF again, given that it already won with it? It might. But yeah, again, mild differences could make all the difference here. If that turret wasn't placed in exactly the position it was, then it may not have drawn fire, and etc. So yeah, it really depends on what the shape of it is. Like, such a small change can kind of have butterfly effect sort of things to it.
Oh yeah. Well, and I like the idea of the missile turret as well. We'll see if it helps out here, because MicroMachine loves Banshees. Let's see what happens in game number 2 right now.
Ketroc. Wrath RR and Unusuals MicroMachine.
So we got a good question here. Are there any good machine learning frameworks for bots? Would you happen to know off the top of your head?
I know, so two bots have used at least some machine learning. So StarCraft, which has been in past seasons, uses Sarsa, which is a type of machine learning. And then I forget the other bot, but there's the one that actually trained against players for some of the combat. And I think there's some like individual modules that kind of train for some of the combat. So I'm not sure. Like they would know a lot better, but yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say PySC2 is one. Actually, I just watched the introduction videos. I'm sure somebody can link that, but there's some really cool introduction videos to PySC2 on YouTube. You can check out. But here we go. As we're getting in this game, we're on Thunderbird right now, and Ketroc is attempting his proxy attack again. So we got Marines already building. The bunker is coming down. This does seem a little bit quicker. A little sooner than last game just because of that map. Like you said, smaller distance or shorter distance, he's able to get there a lot quicker, it feels like.
Yeah, it does indeed feel like it. It would be interesting to see Ketroc go for like 2 barracks as part of this proxy instead of just the one, but it is instead building the NG Bay back at home as well. So that could have been an extra barracks instead, but he'll get the Marine up to the bunker here a little before the CC is done. And I don't see, I don't see because it's not going to do it this time, which is MicroMachine said that it's going to go for an early expand instead of the fast planetary fortress. So I don't expect the fast planetary fortress this time, and that will really change the equation on this bunker being there.
We didn't see this proxied factory last time, did we?
No. I think
I was just making sure.
Yeah, definitely not in a place like that. I'm not sure if it was proxied at all, but I don't think so.
Oh, and we do have a little note. Ketroc says it was updated on the 15th of August, but it was wrong, and it was actually updated this week. So for anybody confused about the updates, it was actually updated this week. And there will be one more round of updates for these bot authors after tonight. So stay tuned for all of that. But yeah, here we go. This bunker is actually going to force a liftoff. Interesting. This has already changed drastically, and it seems like the contain is working a lot better this time for Ketroc.
Yeah, definitely will this time. So here comes the same tank. So I wonder if this was proxied at all, because that tank did come out and come to join the bunker, but now it's so much closer. Whereas before it was definitely coming across the map. So if this gets established in siege, that's pretty good. The Cyclone here is actually a great way to break out of this, but with a tank backing it up. But he's just out of vision range. Tank is just a bit too far back for where it needs to be.
The Cyclone lock-on range is more than the tank range, right? I think.
Yeah. So it has to get close, I think, to do it, but then it can back up out of range.
Huh. All right. Well, we got Cloak Banshees on the way. So MicroMachine isn't at a full stop just yet, but there is no expansion going on. MicroMachine is stuck on one base for the time being as that high-sec auto-tracking finishes up. And actually, this all just seems so much crisper and better for Ketroc, because as the Banshees are popping out, that upgrade is finishing up. The turret is in a pretty good spot. It's going to be able to detect the Banshee as it tries to attack. I think it's just close enough to that bunker that it should be in detection range.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely going to be in vision range. It should be able to poke at that tank without being shot, I think. But it is being quite tentative.
MicroMachine's creator is saying, apparently MicroMachine's going a little bit rogue here. With its builds. Doesn't seem to be following what it's supposed to be doing a little bit. But so far, it's just, it's one base on one base. Ketroc is getting his natural started here. So as Ketroc starts to expand, that's really where MicroMachine's going to be in a world of hurt, because he's really stuck in here.
Yeah, he is in this Banshee again, being quite tentative at the moment. Doesn't want to.
Just out of range of that tank, I think. Oh, it's so close. Yeah, we're just gonna see a swarm of banshees hovering like vultures around this little outpost here until we get enough. I'm curious if he will just go at a certain point. Maybe he gets like 5, 6 banshees or something.
Yeah, I think
It'll just go.
is it MicroMachine that eventually? I know some of them do have kind of like a dive on a turret.
Ketroc does.
Yeah.
I know that with the Vikings.
Yeah, definitely. It has just a YOLO logic.
I don't know.
and
I don't know
calls
so
it
much
that.
about MicroMachine though.
Yeah, some I know do calculate out like, okay, if there's 6 of us, we could just shoot the turret down or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm not sure here.
Well,
And most of, like you'll notice too, so the barracks went home, the factory has gone home. So this really isn't a continued commitment on Ketroc's side. He's now having the tank shelled. This could have been happening the whole time, but it didn't. But now the Banshee's getting perhaps a little too brave. And they're finding the right angle on that second tank.
okay, so finally, yeah, these are getting picked off just in range here. The SCV's trying to repair, but they're just wasting minerals at this point. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he gets one more Cyclone. Okay, no, never mind. Almost. Almost worth it.
Clearing it out. And yeah, now that Cyclone should be able to get a lock on and start putting in work. But that turret is still pretty annoying for the Banshees here.
Yeah, this second base is not coming down anytime soon here. With 2 SCVs still here to repair. The lock-ons are coming on 2 at a time now, though, and it's starting to DPS it down, but it's just not going to be locked on long enough. Maybe it actually will. Man, how long does lock-on last these days?
Oh, forever.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, it's the second. If he had had them both at the start at the same time, yeah, I think he's going to get it anyway.
Yeah, he'll refresh this one and get it. Yeah.
Okay, so the contain is broken. MicroMachine lives. He gets a breath of fresh air here.
That is really weird. So the Banshees that were super concerned about the turret just dove on a Marine and didn't care about it.
Maybe they were more concerned about the bunker.
Maybe. I mean, that is possible. Yeah, it views that as a bigger threat.
All right, so MicroMachine finally clearing out all these little outposts, little structures around. Eric, what do you mean you're not ready? You have a starport. Oh, man, but Ketroc has 4.
That is a lot of them.
Jeez. Yeah, Ketroc going straight into that Sky Terran, just getting that air dominance. And then he's going to try to crush MicroMachine with Banshee, a little Banshee play of his own.
Kind of interesting what MicroMachine is doing there. It is replanting the command center, even though it already has one floating directly above it. So instead of re-landing it, it's just going to make it over.
Huh, that's weird. Yeah, well, these bots do weird things.
Yeah.
All right, come on, MicroMachine, get more. Oh, okay, he's actually taking a third base over here. So, yeah, MicroMachine well aware that there are air units, and he's very upset by this, I can see. Man, these bots are getting real talkative these days. I like it.
They definitely, yeah. Ketroc seems to be one of the most responsive ones.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Actually responding to what they actually say.
Ooh, a little counter damage. Look at this.
Yeah, I was just going to say that he's not that far behind on anything at all. Like, he's only 8 workers behind. It's now trying to catch up totally on bases. If you count the extra one that has floating in the air, then it's actually ahead. The army supply literally dead even. So, yeah.
That's great. With as much
bad.
of a contain and a delay of that was for Ketroc. Yeah, in the end, it almost evens out. What happened?
Yeah, he had cut a lot of, like the worker counts during the contain were actually much lower for Ketroc. So it took some resources to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly feels like it should have paid off, but
Yeah.
he's not massively ahead with it.
Yeah, it feels like it should be. Yeah, you should be so much further ahead.
Yeah.
But these Banshees doing pretty good work here. MicroMachine very good with his Banshee control. About to run out of cloak here, so he might want to get out with this one. Because Ketroc does have a death squad patrolling the skies somewhere. There's a lot of Vikings somewhere, right? Where are they? There's a couple. There we go. Oh, mostly Banshees, actually. I thought Ketroc had more Vikings than that. He's got a lot of Banshees with this.
Thought he had made some more, too. Some may have died to Cyclones already.
Yeah.
And
Quite
he
possible.
does get a cancel on that 4th base. Or maybe just a straight kill on it.
That base is already taken there. Orbital, what are you doing?
Yeah. It doesn't know.
It really wants that base. That's the
Still
best
the
base, Endersword.
It is a good base. It's a good base.
Run, Banshee. Ooh, the Vikings are hot in pursuit right now. That Raven is doing a good job for Ketroc. Oh, he's going to give up pursuit, though, as he gets distracted by some Cyclones. And actually, everything's going to get out of that little engagement alive for MicroMachine. Well done. Yeah, MicroMachine is so good at retreating and just finding an escape route, for the most part. Oh, the Raven.
These Cyclones almost getting a last Banshee there. Raven is very much caught on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, that would have been a nice pickup for MicroMachine to get that Raven. Because he could have definitely gotten away with this Banshee, but I think it's gonna die. Maybe. Well, maybe not. Wait, was that MicroMachine's Banshee shoot, or what was he shooting? I'm very confused.
Sure.
My screen gets just fuzzy enough that I can't tell these units apart.
Mine is too. The Banshees become 1 or 2 pixels, unfortunately for us, and it's hard to see the color given that they're all cloaked.
No, we're just bad casters. It's fine.
That's what it is. Maybe we're colorblind.
We're colorblind
in 8-bit graphics.
All right, skirmish is kind of everywhere going on here on Ketroc's kind of 4th, 5th base location. Looks like there is going to get a cancel there. Nicely done out of MicroMachine. Now he's going to be able to keep pushing the issue into this planetary on the 3rd base. Let's see if he can get any SCV kills or something. No, he's just going to keep fighting the air army here out of Ketroc.
Cyclones getting in underneath it, trying to lock onto that planetary again. They do, but not enough DPS there, and shoved back by the Banshees. That is a lot of Banshees now.
Yeah, they're going to be able to start one-shotting these Cyclones. Catches another Banshee from MicroMachine. Yeah, all in all, again, these two are just staying neck and neck right now in this race, though. Worker count almost dead, even army count hovering around the same pretty much the whole time here. Upgrades looking relatively even. It's that Yamato cannon and the BCs that are going to be coming out soon that I think gives MicroMachine a real edge coming in the next part of the game here.
Yeah, definitely. If you could get some sustained power in the air, there are obviously Vikings out by Ketroc, but like you're saying, it's not a huge number. So BCs could kind of just take control in a way that they don't have to retreat so readily.
Oh god, I don't know why I just thought it. Did you see the bug from the patch? I'm sure it's that where you could load bunkers.
Yes.
Into the. Oh my god.
That was insane.
That is the single greatest thing I've ever seen in StarCraft.
Yeah, I was wondering what flag or what thing. Like, it kind of makes sense in that command centers can load stuff. Mm-hmm. So somehow the flag for what they can load must have.
Well, if you load an SCV and it's got auto repair on it, repairs the command center, right?
Exactly.
So it's something kind of, you can still do your actions while you're in the command center.
Yeah, the coolest one that I saw, which is neat, is that it could pick up not only buildings, but the buildings still functioned.
Yeah.
And then if you picked up a barracks that was building a marine, you could then use the command center's waypoint to pop the marine up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you just have a flying barracks that pops out marines, essentially.
Exactly.
That's awesome. These are things for StarCraft 3. Be taken. I hope Blizzard's taking note.
Why not?
Why not? All right, so here we go. We should have another engagement. Still very even between these two in game number 2 here on Thunderbird. Banshee's just continually harassing left and right. It's kind of hard for our observer, I'm sure, to keep up with them all. He's doing a great job, though. I mean, it's just been non-stop Banshee harass here. And, Ketroc is just kind of caught going back and forth and back and forth. And can't really seem to clean everything up here. He's having kind of a hard time chasing down. He gets him in the end for the most part, but MicroMachine is just so hard to chase down. And now the battle cruisers are operational.
Yeah, and this could make quite a difference since the Banshee, so much supply is in those.
Oh, eat it, Raven.
The Yamato and does take the Raven out.
Okay, are there any Banshees left out of MicroMachine, though? Can he cloak any Banshees? No, that's all right.
Probably not, but he's fine. As long as he clears the air and this cyclone wave comes in after it, he doesn't need the Banshees anymore. I think he's going to be solid with this.
I blinked and missed the army supply. Shot up by 40 for MicroMachine while it's still just hovering around 80 for Ketroc. And you can see it now. Yeah, MicroMachine dominating on all fronts, holding the sky in Ketroc's main, as well as pushing with the Cyclones into that base. And he kills the planetary or command, whatever the heck it was. He kills it. It's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Now there's so many Banshees here by Ketroc, but they just kind of have no targets. They're going after the individual Cyclones, but the battle cruisers can't be touched by it, nor can the other Vikings.
It seems like they're a little afraid of the Cyclones too, still because of that lock-on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to get caught. And yeah, there's just Vikings everywhere. 4 MicroMachine as well. MicroMachine pushing in. It is looking like MicroMachine might be able to finish the deal here just with such a lack of air. If Ketroc could just get some anti-air out, he does have Vikings popping out of his multitude of starports right now. But he just can't get anything together enough to push MicroMachine back. And once MicroMachine gets into this point where he's got 3/4 of the map and is just streaming battle cruisers across, man, he is in a good spot.
Yeah, I think these Vikings just camping the retreat point means that so the Banshees retreat back there basically to regain energy, and I think when they want to walk out again, they're just getting attacked by the Vikings. So it's basically just kind of not letting them start to regroup.
Yeah. Oh, what a game! So these definitely didn't last as long as I thought they would, but still, what a nice TVT out of these two. Really, I really like how it was air focused.
Yeah, I think this is the type of game we expected, even though it's not even going as long. But this is the type of battles that I think we were anticipating.
Yeah, very back and forth, trading blow for blow. It's like watching 2 heavyweight boxers go at it, and it's just awesome to see. But the battle cruisers are the knockout punch here, and there's just not enough to stop them as they group up. What do we have, 5 floating here now? Soon to be more. Yeah, this is looking like a MicroMachine win, and it looks like Ketroc's first run in ProBots is coming to an end as the final Banshees fall. The SCVs try to repair, but it's just not enough. What a fight, though, man. What a good run.
Yeah, definitely a good run. I mean, for a new bot coming into this remarkably well done. And basically a bot that has the benefit of having someone that thinks like Ketroc behind it.
There's that last little the northern outpost there. We'll get picked off. But GG, well done, Ketroc. But your bot is eliminated and thrown into the scrap pile. Or you can do whatever you want. Update it for next season, hopefully. But well done, MicroMachine. We'll be moving on to our top 6. MicroMachine is always a contender. I'm surprised that I thought MicroMachine might have lost to that bunker contain, honestly. It was looking so good at the start.
I think Ketroc's spot capitalized on it a little more, but its economy didn't really go up at the same rate that it probably should have. I think it could have definitely been a lot higher in army supply and stuff before that was broken. It was a long time. It took I think it was 7 minutes and 30 seconds before it was broken.
Yeah.
You could easily be at 150 supply or something by then, but it wasn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Still had a great run. Still awesome to see those two go up against each other. And yeah, in the end, MicroMachine seems like a good fit to move on. He's been in every finals for the past 5 or 4 seasons, or in at least the top 4 for the past 4 or 5 seasons. I know he hasn't won every single one of them, but definitely a contender. All right, well, we've got our next match coming up very shortly here in about a minute. We've got Spudde versus Jensiiibot, our final lower bracket best of 3. One more bot is getting eliminated tonight.
Yeah.
And we'll see which one it is. Again, all these bots got updates, so let's take a quick look at that. Oh, we got to go ahead and run the replays.
Okay.
Let's do it. I love replays, personally. We're going to see some awesome stuff.
It's like seeing a cool thing again.
Yeah. Well, I was told we had replays.
I was too.
They're coming. There they are. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, this is where I think a lot of us thought MicroMachine might have just been dead, because this is game 2 here. And he was just on one base for so long. But like you said, Ketroc didn't use that time to his full advantage and just wasn't able to get enough economy out or something.
Yeah, and here we are much further on. This is one of the first big battle cruiser engagements, taking out the Raven right away. I think helps make a big impact, and these Cyclones swinging in afterwards, just taking out bases in mere seconds.
Indeed.
it's a good 1-2 punch there. Because if you don't fully have control, like the Banshee versus Banshee, they have a hard time like really pushing each other because they keep getting distracted by someone else getting behind their lines.
Yeah.
But that worked really well, where it was a Viking battlecruiser wave, and then the ground wave, which has to take a different path anyway, is kind of left on its own. That kind of works.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of what we see out of Jensiiibot, where you can split the armies up really well. And we're going to hopefully see that coming up right now as we hop into our next best of 3 here in day 6 of season 2.
Spudde. Jensiiibot.
Nice quiet start here on Simulacrum. Yeah, the impossible to say one.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Sure. Special thanks to Elad Yaniv for creating the map analyzer used by Jensiiibot. All right, so this is going to be another awesome TVT here. Yeah, the lower bracket stacked with our Terran Titans.
Yeah,
for sure here.
Get down there. I think really the entire thing is just stacked with our Terran Titans.
Yeah. Now we've got what do we have? We've got one Protoss. We've got Tyr. We've got Spiny as a Zerg in the upper. We've got the Harvester, which is a Terran, and MadAI. Yeah, well, a lot of Terrans. Look out.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Harvester was Protoss.
Harvester's, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Protoss.
5 of the 8.
And MadAI is Protoss too. What are we talking about, Terran? We've just got Terran on the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're crazy. Ignore us. So, yeah, we've got lots of Protoss up in the upper bracket. Spiny is our only Zerg remaining, oddly enough. I figured the Zerg would do a little bit better.
Hard race. They have in some past seasons. We've seen some really broad Zerg domination. One of the big keys to Zerg domination has always been the creep spread. It can be so good with bots, but it's also just kind of a, I don't know, Zerg can be, I think, cheesed and contained a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zerg is so, I think, reactive in human play that if your bot isn't really picking up what your opponent's going to do, you can just be caught without units or the wrong units. And there's not a lot you can do. So I think it's pretty exploitable. But if it gets going, I think that's the key. We've always seen if a Zerg can get to like 4 or 5 bases, it's very hard to stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kagamine is one of those, usually. Yeah, good stuff. We did have a lot of updates for both of these bots. Some very important ones as well. We'll start with Jensi, since that's what we're looking at here. Jensi fixed some crashes, which that is one of the most important things you can do in a bot update. Yep. Definitely do not want your bot crashing at this stage in the game. You know, top 8 bots here. Be a very unfortunate way to go out. We saw that, didn't we see that last season? One of the bots crashed, like right as it was about to win. I keep referencing it, but I keep forgetting who it was.
Yeah, me too. It like literally like quit the game as it was gonna kill like the last hatchery or something. I kind of I remember what it looked like.
Yeah,
it was it was like an Idra GG.
Yeah, well, and that's if a bot crashes, that is a loss for the bot, no matter what stage of the game it is at.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully we won't see any crashes here tonight. Made a lot of small little tweaks in refinement to TVT regarding the macro, micro, and timings, unit composition. So just kind of a big overhaul, it seems, for Jensiiibot. Just little tweaks here and there to make it fight better in engagements against Spud and just be able to deal with whatever Spud can throw at it. And better siege tank behavior too. I'd love to see some siege tank. I always love a good TVT with siege
That would be it. And Jensi's already got. We complimented them last week as well. Like some of the best siege tank behavior, which is that the siege tanks kind of pick a good spot, chill there, and then don't move up until it's kind of secured. Whereas some of the other siege tank behaviors are very stuttery, in that they try and move up like 3 feet at a time and constantly bounce between seeds and unseeds, whereas Jensiiibot seems to like make a decision and stick with it for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always solid to see good control out of these bots. Yeah, I'm just reading through Spud's updates here too. So a lot of big adjustments for TVT as well, and some Jensi specific updates just to kind of deal with, kind of like you said, improving reactions against different attacks. So, hopefully if Jensi uses Hellions, Reapers, or a Liberator early, Spud seems to hopefully be able to deal better with that with this update.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Little Marine will go out to take a look around.
Oh yeah, better diving update. So the Marines will now try to move under air units better instead of trying to do that kind of max range and then step back kind of.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about a ton, in that they just kind of engage as soon as they can fire. But yeah, we've needed that for a long time from someone to actually get under the units and take advantage of Marines being so good at that.
Yeah. Well, and I think we're going to see some pretty heavy Marine play. We do have Stim about to finish up for Spud, and that was actually one of the updates as well. Spud really wanted to get the Stim and Combat Shield faster than Jensiiibot to deal with any early aggression that might be coming across. So we'll see how this early Stim, Stim is just finishing up for Spud. So maybe that'll give him a nice timing where he can get a big Marine ball and dive under some air units. Yeah, look at all those Marines out already.
Reaper getting a nice little scout there.
Oh, yeah, he sees it all.
Like pretty late Reaper, but yeah, sees everything.
He's able to send the message home. There's a crap ton of Marines. You better get some more tanks out, Jensiiibot. And that's exactly what we see is another tank on the way. And 1-1 starting. So, Stim might be done sooner for Spud, but in the long game, I favor those 1-1 upgrades and then moving to 2-2 quicker. And does Spud even have an engineering bay?
Yeah, not sure yet.
This attack is not going to work.
Yeah, there's a lot of them coming across, but like 3 tanks up there on the high ground. If they go up, it's just instant death.
Ooh, yeah, we'll see if they do decide. They do have high ground vision with the medvac, so maybe they'll kind of see that whole defense. And
there is also a cyclone there on the high ground, which I think is quite specifically there to try and pick up a dropping medevac, if that's what he's going for.
Where at? Up in Jensi's.
Yeah, in the main base, yeah.
Oh, here we go. The Marines are going to go right into tank fire. And that went about exactly as we predicted here. Spud is going to get his own tank up, though, and it's just out of range of Jensi's siege tank. So we might have a little bit of a standoff here if that single siege tank can just hold for a little bit. Oh, no, it's now in range of the tank, so it will go down.
Yeah, losing the vision there and loses the tank war. Spud will retreat.
Okay, well, first attack did not go well for Spud. And once Jensiiibot gets into a position like this, I find it hard to see a way where that Jensiiibot can lose this, lead. Because, man, look at that army supply. So much.
Would have to basically throw back. And, I mean, the tank is in a good position there that if something comes through that choke, then that's a good spot. But, yeah, definitely Jensi flying into the lead.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of what I was hoping to see. Jensi just has such solid play, expands at a nice, steady pace, doesn't do anything super cheesy. It's just one of the most standard, beautiful Terran bots that I've seen.
Yeah, like we said, just kind of plays like a person a fair bit.
I love my cheese and stuff, but I also really appreciate just a solid, standard game where you just do everything crisply and perfectly and... Man, that's just kind of what we're seeing out of Jensiiibot. But I got to say, Spud, no slouch either. Already on 3 bases, like you said, has that tank in a nice defensive position. He's got his own upgrades actually coming out. 1+1 attack is done. +1 armor is only halfway done. Jensiiibot is getting 2-2, though. So that's where that lead in the long game I was talking about is going to start to come into play because Jensiiibot is totally content. Just sitting back, macroing up, getting another base, and we should see a push around 200 supply. Is I think when Jensiiibot likes to move out.
Yeah, does tend to just max up and go. It would be interesting if all of this Jensiiibot was just some guy and pretending to be a bot the whole time.
We just got super trolled by Drek or something.
It's not a program. It's just Vitor is playing And
Oh
just
man, did you see that?
pretending that he ran them. Yeah.
Can we got to get a clip of that? Can we get a replay of that? The Marine just got blown into the big. It was like it's like on or what's the Star Wars planet with
Coruscant.
Yeah, is it Coruscant where it's the super tall buildings everywhere? Anyway,
Yeah.
where they have the falling scene and soccer. Yeah, that Marine just went flying. That was awesome. Yeah, he just went straight into that pit there. I guess it was more like the Death Star pit or something. Anyway, I digress. We've got Bio coming out for Spud. A lot of Marines Marauders. He's kind of stopped on the upgrades. He's got 1-1, but it needs to keep those upgrades coming if he wants to have a chance in this later game. He's getting a 4th base, so that's good. Ooh, nice scout. Jensiiibot always scouting around.
Yeah, it must make pretty good use of that too. It definitely devotes a lot of resources to scouting, checking out what's going on.
There goes another one into the pit.
Yeah, that one reported back that tanks are there.
Okay, Jensiiibot
so
swinging in
this
from the
could be
south.
one of those grind scenarios if for whatever reason it just walks down into this, but I don't think it will.
And we'll see how the decision making is. Nice anti-armor missile. Of all the times to push down, this might be it.
Pretty good tank placement here.
Oh yeah, I think it was last week's updates that Jensiiibot had worked on making the tanks and the Marines synergize a little bit better together. So yeah, we can see right now the Marines really hugging those tanks. They do not want to push into the tank fire and leave their tanks undefended should they all die. Which is
nice
just...
Liberator coming down here, right on top of the tanks.
Oh, this is perfect. Jensiiibot doing such a good job. He is taking a few too many shots. He's actually in the tank range. At that point, you might as well push in and start killing. There we go. The Marines do dive forward and get a siege tank and then fall back to try to heal a little bit. And the Liberator moves up. Yeah, this is just... The micro is just so good. And the decision making. The Marines pulling back to a good spot, but now they're ready for a little bit more action now that they've healed up. Liberator's giving beautiful cover here, and Spud is just getting torn apart right now.
Yeah, like literally, like this is just behavior that we're not seeing out of most of the bots. Like the Liberators quite purposely flanking and targeting specific types of units down, kind of taking control of space. It's just a level of coordination that we don't see from most of them, really. Anyway.
Yeah. It sums it up pretty well there. Yeah, 3-3 now on the way as well. And these upgrades are just going to be insurmountable here for Spud very shortly. But so far, Spud has done a pretty good job holding. He actually kept that base alive. I thought that base was just going to die. So he is still sitting on 4 mining bases. But these Liberators, there's just no answer. And there's also no answer to the 125 army sitting outside of his fourth here.
Yeah, down to the 3 tanks again. Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. We'll discharge right on them. Again, a coordinated attack.
So coordinated. That is incredible. Yeah, right after as he hits those matrices, the Marines get the go command. And now the base falls as they just tear through everything. The last little rally of units is coming out here for Spud, but it is just not going to be enough at this point. The army supply dropping 30, 27, 26, 25, and it is just going to keep going down here as Jensiiibot moves in to take game number 1 in this best of 3. Whew, what play. Yeah, this micro is just out of this world out of Jensiiibot.
It is crazy. Like, and again, just this is what we were talking about before, and it's even more obvious with the Liberators in the play here, is the Marines pushing forward, the tanks pushing, us being stuck on the ramp wasn't the best example, but the tanks really logically pushing forward, and then the Liberators leapfrogging ahead of where the Marines are, like in, again, a very human, well-coordinated way that really demonstrates that it knows how to control space. And we've just not seen that at all out of any of the other bots. They either move everything together and the Marines go up and the tanks resiege, but you never have the Marines get 30 feet in front of the tanks and then the tanks unsiege and back them up and then the Liberators shoot in front. Like, that just doesn't happen. So it's just amazingly well done.
Yeah. Well, and for Terran especially, just that to have that cohesion with all those units, that is how Terran is designed to be played, is to have all of those units working in unison and together. And well done. Yeah, the only time I really saw it not working super well was when those Marines were clumped up in front of the siege tanks a little bit. They were taking a few too many volleys. In the end, it worked out okay because some of them even got out alive. But I could see that being a problem potentially, if they were to sit into heavy tank fire long enough, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They just kind of get bunched up because the tanks were blocking their own ramp, basically.
Did I miss the timer? Are we ready for game number 2? Let's go.
Oh.
Nope, I didn't miss the timer.
Oh,
okay.
we get a replay? Okay.
They missed the timer. It's okay. We might have a replay coming up here. So we've got another game, maybe 2 coming out of these. This is our final lower bracket match. So again, we could see Spud get eliminated in this next game if he doesn't make a comeback here. But there's definitely some potential for Spud if he can just do a little bit better of a first coordinated attack. Yeah, that first ball of Marines dying just put him in an insurmountable. Like, he was just behind at that point. And it's just so hard in TVT to catch up when you have that much of a deficit.
That was the replay you asked for, the single Marine.
It was beautiful. Can I see it one more time? I was not paying attention. Do it again.
So here comes the first attack in. So again, look at just like the waves of this. While the Marines do get stuck there, the Raven going in, putting that Cheeto missile on, the Vikings ducking in and out, just super well coordinated. And this is the second major push in. Liberators come in, take control. They kill off the Marines. The Ravens will come in, lock down the tanks in a second.
Look at that positioning too.
Yeah.
The Liberator. This is a good map.
Okay.
Right there is such a sweet spot for those libs. Oh, here we go.
There we go. Right down the
Tell
hole.
me that isn't amazing.
Right down the hole, boys.
Oh, that is clip of the year right there, or clip of the season. Anyway, we should have game number 2 in just a moment for you all. So thanks for sticking around with us. Again, after our break, we will be talking a little bit about our special extra content that we've been putting out for our Crown Club members. So if you want to check that out and see what it's about before we talk about it, look in the links in the description below. Click on one of those and see what it's all about. But yeah, we just do a nice little after show. It's a lot of fun. Our timer went away, so I don't know when our game's coming up, but we're ready. Let's go.
Now.
Game 2.
Spud. Jensiiibot.
We're getting some good games tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely not disappointing. Not only are we getting good games, we're getting the games that we're predicting, so it makes us look smart.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That is always the key. Oh, this is awesome stuff, though. But yeah, even just our standard game, the quality level has gone up. This whole season, I don't think we've seen one, what we would constitute like a super one-sided game. But yeah, maybe for something, if something broke or something super cheesy happened, maybe. But
yeah,
I can't think
it's
of
not
one
as a result. Yeah, there hasn't been anything as a result of the bot just falling over.
Yeah,
and we've had that almost, at least once a season, probably more like 8 times a season in the past, and that's just not happening anymore. And again, it's the entry standards are a lot higher. That in order to even be here, you're basically on the top quarter of their ladder to begin. So yeah, there's no more of the bot that just, I don't know, loses an add-on to something and forgets that it's playing.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which bot that was, but one of them.
Oh yeah. Spud's author is Spud.
Yes.
So that is why it only says Spud once, because it would sound weird to say Spud.
Yeah. Same with Ketroc.
Ketroc.
Yeah, Ketroc is Ketroc.
Yeah. So we did our best to make it fun and exciting there. But what do we got? So yeah, we talked about the updates for these two. Yeah, this is just, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited to watch more tank battles, and this is my favorite way to watch TBT. Tank and Marine, all the way.
Pretty good.
It's so good. But yeah, having the Liberators mixed in, Jensiiibot just gets such a nice composition. Just a little bit of everything he needs, which is nice.
They really add a lot to it. And we didn't see a lot of like good reaction from Spud. Like, I don't know what you would do exactly, since he was kind of up against it there, but very often if you have a Liberator like sieging on top of you, the idea is to unsiege your tanks and back up. And it didn't seem to really be responding to that. So I don't know if it can recognize it, or actually how hard it is to code something to recognize that sort of thing. And we haven't seen a lot of Liberator play. We've seen some bots like make one or two and send them to a mineral line, but in a very like low effort sort of way. We haven't really seen Liberators as a core part of the army very often.
Hopefully we'll start seeing them more, because when used well, they are so powerful.
Yeah.
It does kind of depend on the map as
sure.
well. Some maps are better for them than others. But as it is, we've got the starport just finishing up for Jensiiibot here. Tanks already coming out. There are those earlier upgrades for the Marines out of Spud. We've got the combat shield about to finish up, and then I would imagine Stim will be right behind it. But I think the
upgrades movement. Whenever you get a long drawn out game, it often is just the upgrade win, particularly in a TBT. Upgrades make so much difference when you're in a tank Marine fight.
Yeah, what was it? In mech, it doesn't matter, we've learned. I just thought of it the other day. There was it was last year sometime. It was TVT, some GSL or something. But basically, one of the mech players got to 3-3 mech and lost to just a bunch of Cyclones. I think it was Innovation. Maybe it was Innovation. But either way, the 3-3 against the 0-0, and he still lost the game. It's just never been seen before, which was interesting.
That's right.
But yeah, in general, the upgrades are going to play a huge part.
Yeah, there's always exceptions.
Anyway, Jensiibot's already started the scouting routine with his little sacrificial Marines. They're going to go out and get a little info, send some notes back home to what Jensiiibot should do.
Yeah, exactly. The Cyclones aren't affected by the upgrades anyway, so yeah.
Spud's a lot more defensive this game, yeah. Look at that. No attack coming out. The Marines are sitting at home with the bunker. They learned their lesson from last game to not walk up ramps on Jensiibot's side of the map at 5 minutes in.
So it's a good lesson. Good thing to be clear about.
Yeah, some Terran. I think it was Innovation.
Yeah,
some guy. All right, Reaper gets a nice scout here. Jensiiibot comes in and sees everything. Sees those upgrades coming down. Actually, a much earlier +1 out of Spud this time around. While the engineering bays are just about to finish up for Jensiiibot, as they do, he gets his own +1, but Spud's already doing a little bit better of a job at keeping up and keeping the pace with Jensiiibot. I think not losing that first army plays a big part of that, because now he doesn't have to spend a lot more resources replacing it, essentially. So he's got a little extra money for some upgrades. It's good.
Yeah, definitely not losing an army certainly helps.
Yeah.
In any development of the game. Now the army is coming across, but this time with tanks. Whereas in the first game, of course, the attack was only really Marines, and then there was a late tank that was kind of left out to dry at the end of it.
This is looking a lot better, a lot crisper for Spud. As he moves across, the army supply is very even, but these two Ravens out of Jensiiibot could shut this down completely. Guess how many tanks there are for Spud?
Are there two?
There are two. You are correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, if he gets into a good position here, then it could be hard for Jensi to engage. He will likely... he's going for the Cheeto cannon. I thought he might Matrix the tanks.
Yeah, I thought he was going for the Matrix. They were both just diving for it, it looked like. But
either
way, should clean this up. The base gets cleared out here, though.
Yeah.
No base for you, Jensi.
Yeah, so he will clean up the army. He'll probably finish off these two tanks here at the end, but I think that's a good trade.
It was much better, but yeah, this is the exact kind of same scenario as the first attack of last game. The whole army dies, lost high ground vision, so those tanks just kind of sat there and ate some shells and then bit the dust. But all in all, it still is a lot better for Spud. He's got his third base coming down now, while he slowed Jensii's quite a bit. So,
Yeah, and particularly since Jensi doesn't really react to this, which it's still going to wait until it's got a lot more supply.
it's
If
like
it was a
200.
human player, you may say, well, I just killed everything, so I'm going to go across. But he's not. So Spud basically has time for that better economy to kick back in and rebuild.
I could see that being a potential weakness against Jensiibot. If these bot authors are trying to start sniping each other, you could take a real advantage of the, I guess you could say, pretty passive play out of Jensiibot. He's always scouting around and keeping tabs on things. But yeah, we really don't see a big attack until maxed out supply hits. So yeah, Spud could take 5-6 bases right now and probably get away with it, honestly.
Yeah, it's true. And it can also...
Okay, there's a fourth. All right.
Yeah, pretty nice. So yeah, I think he'll get going pretty good here in terms of the economy.
Yeah.
As it did set Jensiibot back. We've talked about it before too, but the idea of like just being sneaky to take map control, whether it was burrowed banelings or just burrowed widow mines everywhere, something like that, particularly if you know that you're against the passive bot, could just completely control the whole middle of the map and make, when it finally moves out, a living hell.
Yeah. I'll see if that happens. I like the turrets getting added into on the fourth base right there.
Yeah.
Super safe. Spud's doing a lot better this game. I'm really liking how this one's shaping up for our next big engagement. Hopefully 1-1 for both these bots. 2-2 is on the way, and it's almost halfway done for Jensiibot. So Spud's window of opportunity is getting closed here, where they're going to have a much more even fight once that 2-2 finishes up. And the +1, I guess they're both getting +1 for their tanks, but... Ooh, yeah, I think he needs to attack before that or set up a position or contain. I don't know what Spud can do, honestly.
Yeah, either that or, I mean, it's definitely still an option to just kind of keep expanding and try and hold, because both the main and natural are starting to mine out. Jensiibot only has the one extra base here, which it lost originally, and hasn't made a move towards a fourth yet. So Jensiibot's economy is going to be slowed down a lot, but not until it gets to the full 200. So if Spud can kind of absorb that and still expand, then and it is expanding here.
Yeah.
So it could be in a really good position.
He's listening. Well, and for the first time, Spud's taking the supply lead here.
Yeah.
This is night and day different from last game. He's kind of playing Jensiibot's game in this on Nightshade here. He's sitting back. He's getting his base up. He's getting that nice big 200 supply army. And look at this. Here he goes. Jensiibot is going to scout it. And actually, that Marine pulls the whole army back, but that might end up being good for Spud.
Yeah,
as
I think that
is about to push
that
in
is
here.
way better for him.
Yeah, you want to siege up right there, I think. And here we go. Spud is going to siege and get a nice defensive position here.
Don't chase too far here.
Oh, yeah, this is
a
where he
neat
throws
grinder.
it. Yeah, Spud does not have the Marine control that Jensiibot has, and once those Marines go, they just go. The tanks are going to be able to hold the ground here, though, as Jensiibot's Marines also get cleaned out. I'm surprised. I figured they would pull back a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
Maybe they were just all the tanks for Spud were too close, maybe?
Yeah, I think they got pretty aggressive there, and he's got vision on that big choke point. That was
a Viking.
really bad place for kind of both of them to
But
engage.
Jensiibot has 4. Oh, you have 1 Viking? I've got 4. And he takes out that. But no, the Viking did get the Liberator. That's nice. Oh, but 2 more. You kill 1 and 2 more show up. Ah, crap. Yeah, this is just where it's so hard. Jensiibot is so hard to break. Good Liberator positions. Nice tank sieging up. Jensiibot very good with his tank siege ups and keeping his tanks just out of range here. Spud also doing a pretty good job with his second round tanks, but as the interference matrix hits, that should be a cleanup, and Jensiibot is going to crush his way into I think an insurmountable army supply lead here.
Yeah, really strong one there. Spud wasn't as quick to replace the army that was lost. Now Jensiibot is wandering to the north, the newest base.
That's the one to
from
hit
his opponent, which is great.
Nice and juicy. Get some fresh SCVs. Oh yeah. That's where you want to be. Yep, Liberators are in a great spot to catch some rallying units. Oh, almost. Okay, yeah, here we go. They're going to start.
He's catching it just before that planetary was done as well, so got a lot of free shots on before that does fall.
That's pretty big because he could have He could have lost a lot more Marines to that if he hadn't. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Good effort, Spud. Well fought. This game was so much better, and it looked so much more even. But just the big engagement when it came down to it, Jensiiibot ended up on top and was able to continue the pressure as we see here. And those Liberators, I think, were really the nail in the coffin as well. There's just not enough of an answer. We do see a few Vikings, but they're currently dying on the ground as they're trying to deal with this massive army of Jensiiibot, and it's just not going to be enough.
Base does fall here.
We got one more bot for the scrap pile, Undersword.
I think so, but yeah, like you said, a lot to build on here.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing very close to the right things. It just needs to, obviously in this case, like the Liberators in particular, really, really key, but also just having the wherewithal to not run into a choke like that. Not let the Marines get too far ahead of themselves.
Jensiiibot even got the high sec auto tracking.
Yeah.
That's twice we've seen it tonight. Once out of Ketroc and now out of Jensiiibot.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I just want to see a bot get the Neo Steel frame.
Right.
Does that still exist?
No, they I think they got rid of it, right? Yeah. Oh, well, I'm excited. Next season, hopefully we can get our next, get the newest patch rolling and get some fast Void Rays in here for some Protoss. But well done, Jensiiibot. You will be moving on into our top 6 here. And well done, Spud. But unfortunately, you are out of the tournament for this season. But hopefully we'll see you back next round. Because, yeah, definitely a lot to build on
good
there.
Show.
And a lot, yeah, it's almost like a little Jensiiibot Jr. It kind of felt like in that game, too.
Yeah, that's it. We had two very similar styles, but yeah, one just a bit more refined and a few more tools in the belt there.
For sure. All right, well, that does it for our lower bracket. We have eliminated our 2 bots for the evening, and we're going to just take a quick look at just a couple more highlights from that before we talk about our upper bracket, where we've got 2 bots, which will be coming down into this bracket to play our 2 bots who just won. So we're not totally out of this double elimination bracket thing just yet, but it's been a good format so far this season.
Yeah, I really like this. So here it is, jumping on that first base, and this put Spud ahead for quite a while economically. But then this was obviously the start of the big engagement, and these Marines just kind of getting suckered by those Vikings, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The Vikings really lured them into that, and the tanks were just set up and ready to go. And yeah, like I said, once the Marines start fighting for Spud, they really don't stop. And then here, the final interference. I love those matrices.
Oh yeah, they're so simultaneous as well. Yeah. It's awesome, and just the coordination. Like they're going down, and the Marines are like already starting to charge in before that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's first engagement again. So pretty good stuff. Like a really good promise, obviously on Spud's side there, as well. Just got to clean up a thing or two, and that'll be super strong as well.
Indeed. Well, that was some awesome games to start. We do have 2 more best of 3s coming up, so we'll take a look at that here, I believe, right now. So we're going to see 2 of these bots here coming up. We've got Tyr versus Spiny, and then the HarvestR versus MadAI coming up after our break. And here's
the lower bracket.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, they don't come down. I am spouting lies right now. I thought they would come down and face each of those. So MicroMachine versus Jensiiibot is actually what's going to be going on.
Yeah. They basically play each other.
So we're pretty much in a round of 8 at this point, plus the little ending thing. But okay, so I'm sorry for lying to you, everybody. Ignore the host. Right? Listen to the bracket.
I think they should come down. Is that correct?
Am I right?
Wrong. You are right.
Oh, snap. All right, so it's a mystery. We're going to find out after the break. Stay tuned to get the real answer, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do go to that quick little break, be sure to check out our Crown Club membership. We're going to be talking about our new little show, Postbots, where we just talk about the happenings of that day's events. So definitely check out our Crown Club membership to get access to that, and check out our Discord as well. We've been doing some reorganization for our Crown Club members and for just members in general, so you can hopefully get involved in the conversation and see what's going on there. But yeah, stay tuned. We've got 2 more. We've got a lot of Protoss coming up after the break. We've got a Protoss versus Zerg to start, and then a PvP to finish things off. So we're gonna definitely have hopefully at least Terran versus something final is what I imagine. So we'll see what happens there. But stay tuned, everybody. We will be back after just a quick break with our next best of threes here on season 2, day 6 of ProBots. Max, thank you so much for your support and for your patronage as a Crown Club member. If you are interested in becoming a Crown Club member, do check out the link in the description below, as well as the link to our forum. You can get all the info about everything going on there. We're doing a cool little post-bot show for members only. So we just talk about and have, make jokes and have a little fun talking about what we just saw during the broadcast and during today's games. So definitely check all of that out if you are interested in supporting ESChamp and future seasons of ProBots, which will be happening. So if you are a bot author and want to get involved, there is a lot of good resources available. We even have, again, in the link in the description below, there is a template where you can make your own bot and you can start getting involved and get on the AI ladder, the SC2 or AIarena.net, right? Yeah. And that's where all these bots in this season qualified, the top 16 of that ladder. So you got something to kind of work towards. And, a lot of bot authors are very friendly. They'll help you out. They'll, fight their bots against yours. And it's a good job.
It's great. If you love SC2, but maybe you have like carpal tunnel syndrome, it's a great way to still play.
Actually, I hadn't thought of that. That's very true. All right. Oh, so yeah, we do have a little clip, a little teaser of PostBot, so you can see what you're going to be getting if you join the Crown Club. Maybe. I feel like I'm lying.
This was it. We cut
Tier is a good example, and maybe a three-way lover as well. I'm not sure, but Tier is a great tournament bot because he has so many different strategies up his sleeve. He always sits pretty high on the ladder, but I feel like if he really wanted to be number one, he could potentially really put a fight up, but he saves it for the tournaments. And then
it's kind of like hidden stretch. He's like a bot, a Korean bot. He's like a Korean bot.
He's done that a few times too, where mid-tournament, Tier has not only put in hidden strats, but taken requests from the audience. like he basically did a strat that Andy suggested on like a week's notice.
Yeah,
it was the adept.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever feel like he's like sandbagging? I always feel like he's sandbagging. I mean, he's just like I feel like he's sandbagging. He's like he's playing with a hand behind his back, and then when he needs to, he's like, oh, okay. Because we saw last week, and you weren't here in this, but I feel like he really dominated MicroMachine.
It works. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So there was a little sneak peek at our little post-bot show. Yeah. Thank you, production, for choosing the clip where I look just angry for the first half of it. I wasn't actually.
And also, I am wearing the same thing, but I shaved somehow in between.
Yeah, you trimmed up a little bit. It's been like 2 weeks since that one or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Or wasn't that one of the first? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway,
I think it was just last week. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. But we just have a lot of fun. We just talk about the games. We kind of look at some replays and the brackets and kind of give predictions and how we think things are going to unfold in that. So we kind of talked a little bit about this week in our last post-bot show and kind of our predictions. I was talking about how Jensiiibot was going to move on. So far, so I'm right. So far, I am right. Okay, here we go. So we are going to get our bracket updated for next week. So ignore the little one on the right there. Whoever loses in these... this one's right.
Yeah, this one's right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this one's right. I'm sorry. But anyway, whoever loses in these two matches coming up will get knocked down to that lower bracket to face MicroMachine and Jensiiibot. So whoever loses tonight is just going to have a heck of a pit to climb out of.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, even tonight's matches are going to be hard for all these bots, I think. What are your predictions here? Spiny versus Tier coming up first. Spiny managed to beat Ketroc, which is definitely not super easy feat. And Tier is just a powerhouse. He's Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. Tier is Thanos, and I think I don't know. My money's still on Tier for that one. It could be quite good, quite close. I don't know what it may come down to the updates that they've each made as well. But yeah, Tier is just inevitable.
That's a good way to put it. All right, so yeah, we'll see who gets knocked out in about 30 seconds. We will be hopping into our next best of 3. And again, all these bots getting updates, so I'm sure we're going to see something crazy. Tier has like 50 plus builds. So we're probably just going to see, we'll read through them once we hop into game here, but probably to see some little tweaks out of his bot, little refinements to maybe deal with what Spiny has. A lot of updates for Spiny. So again, we'll get it all into all of that once we hop into our first match here. As we go ahead, let's get this best of 3 started here and see which bot will get knocked down into the lower bracket right now. Maybe.
Tier. Raspers, Spiny.
Okay. So I'm not going to spoil. We're going to talk about Tier's updates after.
Okay.
Because it might be a
So there you go.
some fun might be happening here. Yeah, he is inevitable. Something inevitable is happening potentially here. But Spiny had a lot of updates as we get our first game on Nightshade started here. So Spiny abandoned the Hatchery Prox build that it was going to attempt last time it played against Ketroc. He was supposed to do kind of this, I guess, oh god, my brain just stopped. Bly inspired build where you do the proxy hatch and create some chaos or something. So that's no longer going to be in play. That was abandoned. If Spiny loses, there will now be a Roach Burrow all in. So we could potentially see in game 2 or 3 a really fun Roach Burrow all in, which is just, I have been wanting something like that all season since I've seen Spiny doing burrowed roaches. So we'll see. But with an economic really twist this week only. Oh man, this is like an exclusive update. So hopefully we'll get to see something from that. What else we got here? Fixed. Yep, just some bug fixes with wing harass.
Okay. I was gonna say why.
Here it is.
Why is that being chronoed out? And this answers my question.
So this was one of Tier's updates this week. Primarily, Tier will use a delayed worker rush. Well, we'll see. Tier is not afraid to tickle. So we'll see if he can tickle Spiny down. 2 spine crawlers coming up. Finally, spine crawlers out of Spiny. I feel like we've been waiting to see this.
I feel like these are in time. And I guess an Overlord saw him anyway, but maybe you don't just shout out what you're going to do.
Yeah, usually not. But no, Spiny was anticipated. This is what I was talking about earlier. These 2 bot authors were really talking about how they're going to snipe each other from what I saw, or somebody was talking about it.
You know what would be really good right now is to just pull all the probes back, and he's invested 4 drones into spine crawlers.
Yeah, that actually would be a really good follow-up. Because, you lose all that mining time, but you have all your probes still, so. Oh, as it is, the spine crawler's finishing it. Actually, oh my goodness, Ender Sword. Tier just lost game number 1.
Well, here, I don't know. Here comes the Zealot.
Let's see.
Never mind.
Yeah, it was a close one, but wow, Spiny with just the absolute perfect response. We saw Tier do this last season against a Terran and did a recall in it. So I'm surprised, actually. I was kind of thinking we might have seen another recall out of this one, maybe to save
Yeah.
the probes or something. I think that's how it went down last season. But yeah, as it is, tier will have its last couple of zealots popping out here. This was an all in to the max, and
Definitely.
Spiny is just held. So unless Spiny crashes, which I don't think will happen.
Yes, no, very, very unlikely at this point. He should have just taken his like 3 or 4 probes back home.
Yeah.
That he still had going across the map, but looks like that will not be the case.
So I am seeing if this build fails, there are some backups. Which backup it chooses depends on the strategies used by Spiny.
Hmm.
So what we saw just now is going to influence game number 2.
This was all an elaborate scout.
Oh man, I am so hoping.
Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just it's getting ready for game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That's no, I am so excited. Hopefully we can get a game 3 out of this. And you'll see our faces. There we go.
Hmm.
If we can get a game 3, we're gonna see. That means Spiny's gonna lose and is gonna do his Roach Burrow all in, and that I just love ace matches. So I'm really hoping that this goes to a game 3. But we'll see. It's some solid play. Spiny just knew exactly what to do, how to react, held that perfectly. Not much more to say than that.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know.
We've got game 2 about ready to go.
Yeah, I
'cause
don't
we can
know
only
whether he
elaborate
thought
so
that
much
would
on
work for him in the past or what. It kind of makes sense when we've kind of glossed over it, but when Thanos says, "I am inevitable," he then instantly loses.
Yeah,
That's kind of the way it played out. So, yeah, makes sense.
all right. Well, there are definitely some more updates that we did not even get to for Spiny, which we can talk about here just for another 30 seconds while we get our next game loaded up. So yeah, just some expansion logic. Mineral walls will now eventually get cleared. So if we move on to Golden Wall, we might see some cheeky play. Spiny can now dynamically build fundamental structures near any owned base. Okay. So we can maybe hide some structures with that, or just keep structures safe, I guess. Or if he loses something in his main, he can then build it elsewhere. A lot of little things I think that could come into play there. All right, but we've got we'll go into the last little bit here. There's a whole little drop down of even more something for the Protoss Book of Cheese, but we'll talk about that as we hop into game number 2 here between Spiny and Tier. Maybe. A production.
Okay, you get it?
Tier. Raspers. Spiny.
This map again. So yeah, and just the last main update, which I really like out of Spiny, toggled the Overseer to Contaminate instead of Changelings. While Changelings are good for scouting and stuff like that, I really like the Contaminate ability. I think it's something that's really, really underutilized
Yeah,
in
I
StarCraft
agree.
2 as a whole. So hopefully, maybe we'll see some nice Contaminate ability. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at this. So Spiny opened the Protoss Book of Cheese Volume 1 and reworked or improved the following reactions. The worker rush defense is improved, which we kind of saw, especially for delayed worker rushes with zealots. So I really feel like Spiny knew this was coming. There was improved defense against one base voids. So Tier, we've seen Tier do Stargate openers before, so we could definitely see some voids. Improved zealot all-ins. So Spiny can react without scouting the gateways. That's interesting. So he doesn't scout the gateways, but he can detect a zealot all-in. Maybe just by the amount of zealots, I guess, that he sees.
Well, that would
Imagine.
be your telltale sign.
Yeah, you see 20
But-
zealots coming across. Hey, I
but
think this
maybe-
is a zealot all-in.
Yeah, maybe even expansion timing or gas or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or just stays on one base. Or,
So I
yeah,
see
number of things.
I see a building
What is
that
it?
I like. It is a forge,
Ooh.
but I don't think it's necessarily for shenanigans because there's also a cyber.
Is it a Forge Fast expand? Is this like, are we going? We're diverting slowly back to Wings of Liberty.
Yeah.
Voids are
Yeah,
getting stronger. We're
Okay,
doing
it's
Forge
this.
Fast expands.
There
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mothership expand.
Man, this would be not like a huge upset, but kind of an upset, I think, if
Yeah.
Tier gets knocked out, especially in just a 2-0 sweep.
Could this be an attempt at fast carrier?
If it's Void Rays, Tier might be in trouble, just based off what I just read. But yeah, we'll see. There's even a defense against 2 to 3 base early Tempest. So we've seen Tier do Tempest before as well. Spiny just seems prepared for everything Tier has, based on what I'm reading. So.
Does seem so, and the Overlord got in there really quick. Saw it pretty much right away. So if it does have a defense, then it's going to be at play. Tier, yeah. So there's the fleet beacon.
All right, so yeah, I think it's going to be Tempests.
Tempest makes more sense.
Yeah,
but we have actually seen some pro games with like 5-minute carrier and a win. So that's what I want to see. I just don't think it will be.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, if Tier does somehow manage to pull this one base fleet beacon play off, then we're gonna go to a nice game 3. We're gonna see some burrowed roach all in out of Spiny. I'm really hoping this kind of works out for Tier. This is an early 3 bases out of Spiny. He is not going to have a lot to do with this Tempest. It is Tempest as another Stargate comes down as well. There's roaches on the way, man. That's not gonna help.
Yeah, definitely not what you want, but Tempests are slow. Even if you don't have anything for them,
Yeah.
they take a long time to do anything.
We have seen Zergling floods kill Tempest plays.
Yeah, now he is walled off, which is certainly helpful, but that's going to prevent him from expanding too. And obviously, eventually, you just mine out a few Tempests.
He doesn't want to expand. I see no intention of that.
Yeah, it's not in the cards.
Not in the cards at all.
Not in the cards.
Okay, first
All right.
Tempest. Let's do it.
Tempest on the way. I'm encouraged by the fact that Spiny has not made a quip.
Not made what?
Has not made like a quip in response to seeing a Tempest. Whereas for the Tickle fight, it instantly said like, no, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
But it has not said anything yet.
I didn't know there's Tempest here. Well, in the update, it said it was preparing for Void Rays.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it's prepared for Tempests.
Yeah, may not.
There's no
And
spores coming out. There's nothing.
It may have even misread this as a Void Ray sort of thing, but there's 3 queens coming, so
Okay.
I mean, helps.
Well, we'll see if they can keep up the Tempest. We've seen Tier's Tempest before, and they are so good at staying just out of range and stacking up. Once we get up to 5-6 Tempests, that's where we're really going to see maybe Tier start to domino something in his favor.
That's interesting. So the first queen there to wander by ignored the Tempest, but now we're getting a response. 3 more coming back up the hill.
Ooh, I like this spot though for the Tempest. The queens are going to have to get off creep a little bit here if they want to follow, and that's where the Tempests are going to get their best shots in as the queens try to waddle back onto creep. And oh man, there's just 2 of them are starting to gun down these queens.
Yeah, and it can spiral out of control quite quickly. Like if you don't have anti-air as the Zerg and there's nothing to deal with it, your only response is queens. And if they start to get picked off without doing any damage really at all, just some mild shield poking.
I think we're going to start to see a scenario though where Spiny just takes over the whole base and just Tier just won't be able to kill him fast enough.
That is always a threat with the Zerg. Is eventually like the production just gets out of control.
Mm-hmm. Okay, finally some spores coming along, but those maybe he can use to like dive under the Tempest, or if the Tempests get a little sloppy. But Tier's Tempests really don't get sloppy.
Yeah, and he's gonna have too many pretty soon.
Okay, well this is where the Zergling, if he just non-stop builds Zerglings, the Tempests are going to be just busy killing Zerglings for the next 30 minutes here. So we'll see how this plays out. They are chewing through the Zerglings. Okay, a Spire is on the way, so maybe he is going to try to get into a nice Corruptor Ball or something of that nature. Even Mutas can do well. And really anything. Tempest, anything that shoots up can deal with Tempest pretty well.
Yeah, anything that kind of swarms a little bit. But
swarms it, yeah.
He's going to eventually be dealing with like 6 or more of them, though, in one place.
But do Mutas not trade favorably?
I don't know. I don't even think he has to worry
not
about...
1v1.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to worry about favorable, though. He's 4 bases against 1 base.
That's true.
If you trade out 25% on it, then you're good in the long run. But yeah, we'll see what he can get down here. If he starts killing the main and the natural like completely, then it's a bit of a different story. If he's not able to support it economically, but the gas being stocked up usually is a good indicator of a muta switch when it's a human. But the minerals aren't being.
I think that's just because he's been killing so many queens
Yeah.
and zerglings and stuff. That Spiny is being forced to dump more minerals into those things. He's already rebuilding his Roach Warren as well. And he's trying to flood the front here, and he might actually break through that Cybercore, but the cannons are in a really good spot.
And there's
kind of like
three
a
of
little
them.
turret defense, yeah.
Yeah, I like that Tyr didn't slack on that. Like, he didn't just leave the one cannon and say that's fine. He kept on with that defense. And of course, in this situation with Tempest, he's got an excess of minerals. It's the gas restricting him.
Man, this would be great with a big Zealot follow-up. Imagine 15 Zealots running in right now.
So there are 3 corruptors on the way, but that's not. He really needs a big ball of them, and he doesn't have the minerals to support it.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're talking about the mutas. Normally, if you can get a big flock of mutas, yeah, you can pounce on the Tempest. But that's
yeah,
where
not
you gotta
with the few.
you gotta work on that.
Yeah. So one corruptor getting picked off by his lonesome, and I think the other corruptors are just going to be too tentative to actually engage in an effective way.
Well, so far it is looking good to get a game number 3 here. We might be moving to an ace match if Tyr can keep it up. 23 workers on one base, but with a hell of a lot of Tempest, and he is torn through the Zerg main. There is just barely anything left there, and then once he gets this cleaned up, he's going to be able to move on to the natural. Spiny is kind of stopped on the 4 bases, which, we see Spiny just consume the map.
Yeah, there he's trying to take the
There we
bottom
go.
one
Now
down.
he gets it. Okay.
Yeah, he got denied on that 5th, obviously by the Tempest. Yeah, I think, like you said, it's going to be a slow kill, but now it's this is basically concluded.
Wait, apparently I spoiled Spiny's strat? What did I do?
Oh no.
I don't know. Oh. Well, we got to make notes of what strats are supposed to be secret then, okay?
Yeah.
Lame production.
Yeah, if you want a secret, don't put it in your patch notes.
Yeah. They have to, though.
tell us.
Okay, well, we're going to work better on
We
not
wouldn't know.
spoiling builds. I apologize
Yeah.
for that. I wanted to see a proxy hatch build, so I ruined it.
I'm
for
curious as to why these corruptors are flying the way they are. They're doing this weird zigzag.
Well, I think they're trying to fight. They don't want to stay in range of the Tempest, but they're, I don't know. Yeah, now they're just
now
trying
they're
to
engaging.
dive,
This
yeah.
is, yeah. The
Good
Tempest
kiting
ball.
out of Tyr. Yeah, this Tempest ball will soon not be stopped. How many Tempest does it take to get to 200 army supply
Oh,
with
lot.
23 workers?
Uh,
It's a math question.
I got like 28. 20, yeah. 20,
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
28 to 29.
We'll wait and see
yeah.
how many we got if we get up to 200. But
Or no,
Just
more
curious.
than that. Yeah, no, 20. I think it's about
oh, are they contaminating? We see some overseers over there, and remember he's got
they've
the
been
contaminate.
yeah, they've been there. Like they keep going back there, and then the Tempest kind of cleared them out.
Okay, so they haven't really been able to contaminate anything.
Yeah.
Mwah, mwah. Well, as it is, these Tempests are just kind of slowly nomming through bases here. We've got the main and the natural now gone. Spiny is now down to 3 bases. He did manage to get that 5th base on the south side of the map situated. But if Spiny doesn't keep expanding, these Tempests will eventually clean this Zerg up.
He's still with a lot of workers, continuing to make that. Yeah, the corruptors do delay a tiny bit when they come out here. If he moves up, he'll get the Spire and end that basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tempest, one of the slowest deaths to experience here
Yeah.
for Zerg. But yeah, we'll probably zoom ahead a little. There we go. Tempest in fast forward motion, because basically, yeah, what we're trying to see now is, will Spiny continue to expand and survive, or are these Tempests just going to keep chewing through? There we go. Spiny does get another base. I think he's really trying to keep his worker count at a certain point, but he's having to replace so much army that it slowed that down to a point that he's not taking over the map. like we usually see.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. So now he's down 2. Okay, he's retaking the natural. So Spiny's going to keep attempting to stay alive here as the Tempest do a big circuit around, looking for any expansions. And man, they kill bases so quick at this point. Even on, if we were to do normal speed, it would be, what is it, 1, 2, like 3 good volleys. And that base is dead. And there we go. He finds the natural again. Ender Sword, we're getting an ace match.
We are getting an ace match. They're few and far between in bot games, but they're great when they happen. And, Tier, one of those few bots that just does not play similar between 2 games.
Oh, yeah. So many moves in his repertoire there. I am so excited. Yeah, this is only I believe our 4th best of 3 that has gone to an ace match in this whole season. So, all right, Tier bringing it back with some awesome strats, and you know what this means. Sorry, I forgot to mute that. Now we are going to see some burrowed roach play.
Yeah.
And I have been wanting this all season long since I've seen the burrowed roaches. And I am so excited for this. So very soon we will have game number 3 loaded up, everybody. This has been an awesome night of ProBots so far. Hopefully you're all enjoying the show. Again, be sure to check out our Crown Club membership for our little exclusive post-bots show that we are doing after our show here. And Crown Club members, you can also hop into our Discord and check out behind the scenes while we're live doing a broadcast. So if you want to come listen in and listen to Drexama run the show and just kind of hang out, see what's going on, come on in. We encourage it. So, maybe we'll see some Crown Club members in there. Do we have any now? No, we don't. Maybe eventually. Now you know about it. But here we go. Oh, minute and a half till our next game.
Goodness.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
well,
we can do this. We got this. Get ready. Ender Sword is in support of Tier for our final match here. And here we go. Game number 1. We can kind of see how this series has progressed so far. The Pro Brush not working out. Spiny 100% ready for it. Look at all those spine crawlers. Yeah, that probe one flying, man. That one floated away very slowly. Did you see that one?
I did.
some awesomely weird animations going on today. And then game 2, Tempest speak for themselves. Just a beautiful spot. I think this was the highlight. Just this spot, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was the perfect angle, catching like queens off creep, and they just weren't like responding. It was like they didn't know what to do there.
Yeah, and then once you get enough Tempests, unless you have a massive corruptor count, a massive Hydralisk count, something like that, something that can chase and get under and just start gunning Tempest down, you're just not going to be able to do it. Trickling in corruptors will not work. So.
Yeah, so we'll
nice
see.
hand you got there.
See if he makes it.
Are you rooting for Tier?
I think I'm rooting for Tier. He's the only Protoss, and not the only Protoss. Well, the only Protoss in this match, and I just know he has enough. He has such variety that I don't know. I like him, but let's see.
Yeah,
I also want to see these burrow roaches. If they're done
we're gonna see that.
then
sure.
I'm a convert.
All right, well, let's hop into game 3 and see what we are going to see. Our final match between Spiny and Tier. Let's hop in right now. I almost said Tiny and Spear. Since we're waiting for the game to start, I might as well share that with all of you.
Tier. Raspers, Spiny.
Okay. Weren't we just on this map? Wait.
Yeah, we were, weren't we? And he said the same thing.
Wasn't some? Well, he said that every game, I think.
Yes, he said that. He said I'm inevitable last time. I think this is the same. Yeah.
We're in the wrong replay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right. Let's just watch it again.
That's why.
Why not?
So the real gotcha.
Yeah.
We tricked you all. We're just building the hype even more. We have the real game 3 loading up right now. Now that you're all really psyched for what's coming up here.
Yeah. I'm like,
I know loaded up. Does take a moment.
I'm like, I know he does say slightly different things. So
yeah. It's okay. All right, so yeah, this is our this could be our last Zerg. You know, either we're gonna see a Zerg moving on for sure, or you know, he actually will get a second chance because if Spiny does lose here, we'll get knocked down into the lower bracket and we'll have to beat a Terran, which I think Spiny is just a little bit better suited in general against Terran from what I've seen, but you know, he just whooped here in game number 1, so who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Tier whooped himself a little bit. In
game a little bit,
one.
Yeah, that was. A little
but yeah, obviously the response really good, but it was a bit of a layup.
Yeah. Okay, game number 3, the real game number 3, is coming up right now. Maybe. It's the catchphrase of the night. Maybe. Right now.
And now for the real comptroller.
And now.
Tier. Raspers, Spiny.
Okay, Thunderbird, this is a new map.
All right, so they're new map, but he does say the same thing. I wonder.
Tempest
what
again?
he's gonna do? Maybe I don't know.
Worked
I don't
last
know
time.
I don't know if he's gonna quote for everything, but he certainly. This is where he kind of did building placement and stuff.
Well, how many Thanos quotes are there? Because Tier's got like 50 plus builds, right?
Yeah, he probably doesn't even have 50 lines in the movies. I don't know, or some of them are fairly unremarkable.
Well, I'm really interested in this roach play coming up here. I love burrowed roaches. I have since the start of the Wings of Liberty, pretty much. They've been around for quite some time. And you know the little roach hit squads that pros used to do, like TLO and all these pros.
Well, even down to like Cyril has done them all throughout.
Oh yeah, it does happen from time to time. Still, it's just not very common because it is hard to pull off. It's very micro intensive. You really kind of have to babysit them. Yeah. You got to find the right avenue of attack. You got to make sure there's not a detection there. It's hard to pull off for sure. So we'll see how it works out this game. 2 bases on the way. Spawn and pool. Getting close to done.
This is the same opening. So we got a forge coming down here as well.
Oh.
And it could actually, if this is the same thing, this could actually be quite frustrating for Spiny because a tenement of this build is that cannon. And if you're doing burrowed roaches, then you're kind of predicated on that not existing. Although if you were somehow able to get in and jump on it. But I think if he's walled off,
that's what I was going to bring up. The full wall kind of shuts that down completely.
Yeah.
The burrowed roaches can't even get past that. So now you've just got burrowed roaches stuck on a ramp. And this could backfire completely for Spiny here. We'll see. Well, and this is assuming that this all goes according to his plan and we do see the burrowed roaches that we're supposed to see here.
Yeah, if that's what's even coming. Well, we'll see. And again, it can go a different way from the beginning as well. Like we pointed out, obviously, in that replay that the spot that the first Tempest came in happened to be on that creep dead zone. Mm-hmm. There were like 4 or 5 queens that like ran by it. Yeah. If they were maybe on a creep thing, they respond different. They attack the first Tempest and then start the Spire or something like that, then maybe it goes different.
Okay, so we should see the Roach Warren soon here. Yeah, I'd love to see a lot more creep spread. There it is. So we are seeing the economic twist as well. Spiny had mentioned just that very early 3 bases.
Yeah.
And then he's going to try to try to make something happen with burrowed roaches. We'll see. There are going to be Tempests in production very, very soon here. There we go. The first one immediately as the fleet beacon finishes. So, yeah, creep is going to be instrumental for these queens for sure to be able to keep up with these Tempests or do something about them.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing that could throw it, and we didn't really focus on it last game, but was definitely happening, is the Tempests were popping out and they were just sitting on their own side of the map, killing the Overlords before they came over. If they start to pop out and there's like 8 roaches on the ramp, that's approximately 89,000 shots from a Tempest to kill all the roaches. And if they just held them long enough for them to come up with some other solution, then that's something that can happen. But who knows? See if he gets so easily distracted.
Yeah, here we go. First Overlord is going to do its dirty work, and oh no, Tempest wants to move on. Yeah, we saw this last game too. It kind of takes a few shots, and it's like, nah, as it gets out of vision, it's like, nah, I'm not going to chase it. It's fine.
So yeah,
not my job.
So obviously, like, creep is out front, so there's not a back door to the main this time. So that could change the equation. There comes the burrow.
Okay, no roaches just yet, but yeah, there's not a lot of creep in the main though. It does look like there's a real sweet spot up in the main where you can shoot at the third and just kind of go back and forth. So we'll see if he gets into that spot here, or if he might just sit outside the third and try to shell it down.
Yeah. Now this could be the death knell to the whole thing. Is if Spiny is just kind of consistently supply blocked. Then that could be a problem too. So if he starts getting more, picking off more Overlords, he's got some room now though.
All right, here we go. Yep, they are going to go where there is a good amount of creep, so the queens could set something up, but there's not very many queens. He's already lost 1 or 2, and he's about to lose another here. Yeah, there's just no anti-air, really. I don't even see more queens getting made.
Yeah. He's also at home here. Not only are the cannons down, but there's also shield batteries with it. So even if the roaches do get on top, it's a long way to actually take them out.
Well, once he starts getting more, he almost killed the roach there with just 2. Once he gets 5, 6 Tempests, he's going to be able to almost start one-shotting these roaches.
Yeah, here's that.
I think
a little
it's 5.
bit of a distraction too, though.
I think 5 Tempests one-shot a roach.
Yeah,
let's see. Ooh, a little switch here. Ravagers. Okay, so if he could maybe land some money biles, this could somehow, because these Tempests do clump up a bit, as we see right here. Oh, that is such a juicy target for a bile. Let's see. Yeah, why aren't the roaches burrowing? That is a good question.
That's a good question.
That is a very, very good question. Okay, this third base is doomed to die. Unfortunately, Spiny chose to build his lair here. Yeah. Maybe trying to keep it safe, because I do like this position for Hilaire, just because the mineral walls on the left, it's kind of tucked away a little bit, but not against Tempests.
Yeah. Not at all.
Well, this is not looking good for Spiny. No attack coming out of Spiny. He's not able to do anything with the roaches on the other side of the map. He is massing up a really big army. He's got 67 army supply to 35 right now, and it's all just kind of sitting in the main.
Yeah, and he is adding on Ravager bit by bit, like you're saying. So if he somehow shocks with it, like that's a lot of them. If these somehow, are they just going to ignore this though?
Maybe just go for the base trade. He would be able to kill Tyr off way quicker than Tyr can kill him. With that many Ravagers, he can absolutely break up the main into a few cannons. Yeah. I think this is the right call. He even gets at Tempests.
But yeah, shooting himself a little there too, but not too bad.
Oh yeah, was that him doing that last week?
I think
no, that was Worthless Spot. That was Worthless Spot doing that.
Yeah, that was
so far it's been good.
But yeah, this many Ravagers definitely can break that front door down.
It's going to be all in though. He needs to break through and be able to finish Tyr off. So he needs to stop the Tempest production. He needs to make sure one doesn't just sit there and shell away until everything is dead. And he is going to start taking down the wall.
Okay, one Tempest in the base could really help him, because I don't think it's going to get filed right away. But the wall is going to open up.
There we go. The Tempests don't really seem to be dodging biles whatsoever. So this could actually work out somehow, some way. The shield battery is buying a lot of time, though, and he's using a lot of biles on that one Tempest, so I don't actually think it's going to break through anymore.
Yeah. There are a lot of roaches still alive with this,
That's
yeah,
true.
it does take that down. Only 2 cannons left, and the energy on the shield batteries going away.
He's got more roaches coming across. Actually, I might have spoken too soon. He might be able to just somehow do this. No, he's only got 1 Ravager left.
Yeah, it's the Ravager that's going to be the key.
And he just
But
doesn't have
he's
enough.
got to, like, it's going to be a long time before these Tempest kill stuff. And
That's
he's
true.
just going to do damage, do damage, do damage.
It is a base
3
race.
Ravagers.
It is absolutely full on base race.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, let's see. It's just going to be a matter of time. Yeah, can Spiny keep enough roaches here while the Tempest continue to
he's
accrue?
not gonna
Oh, he
get-
can stop that one coming out. That's huge.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. The one in the back here. And now there's enough Ravagers, like 3 of them, that they could go after this Tempest.
Yeah, there's too many roaches here now. Had Tyr been able to get 3-4 Tempests up in his main, he maybe could have started to whittle down the roaches long enough to clear out the rest of the mining bases of Spiny. But as it is, the roach count is just so freaking big that, yeah, Spiny is just going to do it. What a game. What a series.
Yeah, as soon as the cannons went down on the ramp, it was going to be game over.
I thought losing the Ravagers might have been a little bit of a problem too, but he managed to keep them alive, actually. He's got 2 now with the army as well. The Tempest target fire. Nope, not building there. Oh, yeah, build right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tempest not dodging the Biles that's going to be the end of the Tempests.
Yeah.
Wow. Tier is moving down to the lower bracket. I believe we're going to have another Tier versus MicroMachine game. Is that right?
Which one was it? Yeah. I think so.
MicroMachine's on
He was
top,
the top
so-
one. Yeah.
If I'm not
There it
mistaken.
is.
Wow. Yeah. Tempest can.
Is here against Jensi? Is it flipped?
Oh my. Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is
What
it
a
Tyr-
series.
it's Tyr
Okay, it'll
Jensi?
be Tier versus Jensi. I'm sorry. So almost that Tier versus MicroMachine matchup again, that rematch. But wow, what a series. That was just an awesome back and forth. I really thought that the Tempest might have been able to do it in game number 2, but Spiny with just beautiful, overwhelming roach numbers was able to just crush through
just
and dominate.
continuing to stream that makes it really decisive. If it had only been that first force, it would have petered out, but just more and more obviously came. Yeah.
Well, it worked out. I unfortunately did not get to see any burrowed roaches, but it works out. We got to see a lot of roaches.
They had
take
them.
the day.
They even had the
They
tunneling. Yeah, they even had the movement.
I'll take it.
But,
I'll take it for now. Just that they could have is good enough for me. All right, so we do have one more best of 3 coming up tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be a doozy. We have TheHarvester versus MadAI. A little PvP to finish things off here for you. And again, one of these bots will get knocked down into the lower bracket while the other moves on to face now Spiny. So we'll see who will be doing what here. So either way, Spiny's going to have another Protoss to face in the next round. So it's looking promising already for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is quite strong. Like roaches just in a flood are almost always quite strong, and with the Ravagers breaking down a wall, it's because it basically takes care of one of the problems that a lot of the bots have trouble with, which is like engaging up a ramp or engaging through a wall, and the Ravagers are just kind of custom made to deal with that situation. So I think that's why they work so well in these circumstances.
Yeah, especially against just one base Protoss. There's just not enough there to defend against that much firepower. So yeah, great series. We're getting our next one loaded up here, everybody. So again, while we wait, be sure you check out all the links in the description below for our forum, for our Crown Club membership, and for our bot template. I did see a little bit of talking about maybe just making our bot template automatically deal with Tempest.
Just do Tempest.
Just make that our standard thing so we can phase that meta out maybe. No, I like the Tempest meta. It creates an interesting challenge because yes, while it does seem incredibly overpowered, we've seen it beat a good amount of times as well. We have seen it not work.
And I think this is one of the better approaches to it is if you're doing that, you're almost always weirdly defenseless.
Yeah.
Like you could Nidus to kill it. You could do this sort of thing to kill it. You could drop to kill it. Like there's a lot of things. It's very all in.
You can expand all over the base while the Tempest sits in your main.
Yeah, they're too slow.
They're just
Yeah.
so. Mhm. So anyway, our match is ready. Our last best of 3 of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready. We're going to be diving in right here, right now, for our final match of our day 6. And go.
Dr. Infy's TheHarvester. Madman's MadAI.
All right, someone's saying Tempest cannot dodge Biles. Is that surely they can move out of the way, right?
Yeah, I think they can. I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
can.
these ones cannot.
Yeah, those ones could not. But yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
In general, yeah, yeah, they're not micro-intensive units, but you can still move them right out of the way in time. I would imagine. Anyway,
So I'll test it, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You might have to be on point.
yeah.
Yeah.
Think
So
we're gonna
here,
see Tempest this game?
here we go. Our only other 2 protesters.
Yeah.
There are only 3 in the top 4. It's sad. Yeah, taking a peek on in here. And yeah, I don't know. Are we going to see Tempest? This would be a decent map for it. Again, just getting a big Tempest tug of war.
Mhm. We are going to see Stargate, I am imagining, based on our little update list here, and some potential Void Rays.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
both
really
of
wouldn't
us.
mind seeing someone like I mentioned in the last game, but instead of that being an early Tempest thing, I think early carriers would have won because the DPS is just a lot higher. Even though you're giving away some of the range and like kite ability of it, you can still kite a fair bit because the interceptors stay engaged, and you're just kind of refilling. You've got excess minerals anyway to refill your interceptor count. There you go.
Okay. What is he doing then? What was the?
My master says I usually lose this matchup, so let's try something different.
He didn't say what he's doing though. Out of
Yeah,
this.
I didn't. I think it gave percentages there, but 2-base robo seemed to be what it's indicating.
Yeah, we do have a robo facility on the way right now, so I think
Alright.
you are correct. But I was gonna say, I was thinking, and I was really hoping we were gonna see Void versus Void out of these guys because both players. So Harvester enabled PvP builds and a 1-base Void Ray build that should attack earlier if an expansion is detected, which MadAI has an expansion, so. Curious why the Robo was chosen on that. But anyway, the MadAI also adapted the Sky Toss build by switching from Tempests to Void Rays with an annoying Oracle Harass. So we could definitely see some interesting Stargate versus Stargate play in this series.
Yeah, could be quite cool. Little shield battery going down on the low ground.
Okay, well, hopefully in this series we'll see a little bit of. I'd love to see a Void versus Void battle. I think
That
that'd
would
be
be
so
good.
much fun. But Mortal's coming out for Harvester, so he's sticking to that Robo build, and just 1 base for now. So I'm curious if he's. It said 2-base Robo, right?
It did say that.
So I would imagine a Nexus will be coming out soon. We'll see.
Yeah, if I'm reading that right. Like it gives it in terms of probabilities, but I thought that's what it was saying.
Oh, okay. So apparently, yeah, if the Tempest, so if you just center a Bile on a Tempest and it's sitting still, if you move after the Bile has been shot,
Yeah.
then it will hit the Tempest.
Yeah, the acceleration is too slow. But
Accelerate, but if it's moving already, it could. Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
It's kind of a weird gray area. Well, that is some very insightful
Yeah, I kind of want to. Yeah, I want to look at that. But yeah.
Apparently, he went and tried it, so I believe it.
There you go.
I'll take his word for it. Yeah, it's all about that acceleration. Yeah, Tempests are slow to go. All right, here we go. Void Rays out of MadAI, so we are going to see some Void Ray play after all, at least from one of these two. I really favor the Void Ray play in this scenario, especially considering he's on 2 bases right now. The Voids obviously can melt Stalkers if they aren't gunned down quick enough, and then Immortals can't shoot up, so...
Yeah. And there comes the Oracle sneaking across the side of the map. Will it get some damage done?
Yeah, this was one match I really didn't have a prediction for. I really couldn't say because I don't think we ever
moving out at exactly the wrong time here as the Oracle kind of sneaks in, but he's going a little. All right, he's just going to stay there. Okay, coming in.
Just waiting for the right time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Stalkers did have a chance to respond because of that, and it will get picked off. Had it swooped right in, that army had just moved out, and there wasn't really a lot there.
Okay, well, we'll see if this is on time to do enough damage. There are 3 Immortals, so they're going to be able to plow through MadAI's natural at the very least, I would imagine. But it's really going to come down to the Void Rays. If Harvester can target down the Voids right away with the Stalkers, I think he has a pretty good chance here. But the second Void Ray is about to pop, and that is when the Stalkers of this number start to get in trouble. 2 Voids beat 3 Stalkers, right?
Yeah.
I think pretty handily, especially with some
sure.
Zealot cover. Oh, here we go. Harvester a little bit tentative, kind of getting stuck in this little divot here, but he is going to be able to clear out the Zealots very easily. Wait, did the Void Ray just get gunned down? Really? Yeah, 5.
It did, because it just kind of fought on its own. And yeah, definitely 1 Void Ray will lose to 7 Stalkers pretty handily.
All right, here we go. Stalkers coming back in for another round. There is the prismatic alignment. The Void Ray is going to try to kill all these Stalkers, but as it is now, the Stalker reinforcements are showing up, and that is just too much. And the Harvester has hit just a perfect window of opportunity here on his 1 base, and he's just going to be able to shred through the natural. And that's it. He just took game number 1.
Yeah, that's way too strong there. Yeah, the Void Rays kind of coming in one at a time. They had the right idea to stop this sort of thing, but just not totally ready yet, and kind of came in staggered.
Yeah, if he had the 2 or 3, I think waiting until 3 would have been perfect to group them up. Then you can really shoot them down. But as it is, yeah, 1 Void Ray at a time is just going to pop out, and those Stalkers will be able to gun it down. And game 1 will be going to Infi and the Harvester here. All right. Man, I really do hope we get to see the Voids get a little bit further here, because MadAI got set up for a much stronger late game than the Harvester, I think. If he had gotten a nice little ball of Voids out and gotten the Stalkers out, Harvester's stuck on 1 base, and MadAI just owns the map. So we'll see if it can maybe play out a little bit differently in game number 2. We'll see if Voids are chosen once again. Yeah, I really hope with the Void update that Void Rays really start to come back into play.
Oh yeah, I think they could. They just got better on like 3 different fronts, and yeah, I think we'll become a lot more competitive.
Yeah,
early on. Like, it's one of the few cases where, despite me really liking the Void in the game anyway and loving that buff, I'm like completely unwarranted buff, like a little too much. I think the making them physically better in terms of like speed and stuff like that is one thing, but making them cheaper is much more of an early game push, and it's kind of the early game they excel anyway. So yeah, interesting.
Okay, so we do have one final update.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently we were lied to, and the Tempest can get away.
I still, but now I don't know who's lying to me.
Yeah, well, maybe they're lying.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe they're trying to trick us into using Tempest.
Yeah, maybe.
So who knows?
No, this is a good lesson on verifying and fact-checking information for yourself. Don't just trust blindly what some guy in chat says.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our next game loading up here. Don't trust the guy in chat, Endersword. It's never a good idea. Might have a replay as we get our next game loaded up, but this is going to be an awesome game number 2. I have a feeling that this one's going to go into a much later game scenario. I saw a little bit of chat that Infi's bot wasn't supposed to be on 1 base there. Really was supposed to get a second, so there a couple of people were like, it's supposed to have 2 bases. I think. Did I read that correctly? Yeah.
I thought that it said it was going to.
Yeah.
Or was that like?
So I think had it gone 2 bases, that attack would have hit just late enough that maybe the Void Rays would have been in a big enough number to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that game definitely was a build order favored for my brain just stopped. MadAI.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Harvester.
The Harvester. Yeah, the Harvester ended up.
Either way.
The other thing too was that Oracle that stuck in almost did more damage just based on its timing, and then I think it like mismicroed out. So that could go different as well.
All right, well, let's find out. Game number 2 is ready. Let's hop into it right now, assuming production is waiting.
Dr. Infy's The Harvester. Madman's Mad AI.
Oh, so I guess a probe was sent to take the natural. I didn't notice that.
Okay.
That's what they're saying in chat there.
And failed.
And failed. Or it was just a mind game to psych them
So,
out. And yes, we are on YouTube now, 100% onto YouTube. So thank you for joining us here, everybody. We've got an awesome final series here to wrap things up. Day 6 is going on right now. And one of these 2 bots is going to be moved down into the lower bracket for one more chance at redemption. But Harvester looking very good, looking very strong. Let's see what it decides to do this game. We should get our prediction, what is it, about a minute 30 or so?
it was, something like that.
Or it's build order, not
does a
prediction.
little, does a little scout and then guesses.
Best guess.
Oh.
All right. Well, MadAI, balls in his court. He needs to make something happen with those voids. I'd love to see the void ray attempt again, and just maybe hopefully the timings work out a little bit better for him. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you're Captain Canuck. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you, Captain Canuck. What's up? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, tell all your friends about ProBots. Tell all your friends who like to make bots to
All right,
get
so-
a bot made and join us.
This time, what's
Same
this
thing?
saying?
No, the numbers are different up at the top. So
4-gate proxy. It
Yep.
would seem to be what this says.
I think you are correct. And that is, we have seen that a lot. We've seen that a lot out of MadAI. Just that 4-gate. And it's never actually proxied, which I always
Okay.
find hilarious. It's always just built in his main base.
Yeah,
It's kind
that
fun,
is
but,
interesting. Yeah, the phrasing of it is almost like, I picked this, but I'm gonna not pick this.
Well, but he proxies
what
the
it
pylon, right, to get the
Yeah.
weapons and stuff. Yeah, so that's where the proxy comes in. But anyway, he is going to be able to secure second gas. There we go. Kills the assimilator, grabs that, and things shaping up to be a good game. Dead even on supply at the moment, or it was when I said that. But there it is. Stargate finishing up for the Harvester one more time. So he is indeed going to attempt Void Rays. Let's see if he gets a second base or starts cranking out those Void Rays a little bit earlier. Oh, it is a Stargate too. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to get Void Battles.
We got it.
Oh god, I sure hope so. Void battles are the best. Here we go.
Yeah. And depending on the timing, one base void battles versus 2 base void battles are different.
Yeah, MadAI is actually getting his second base. Okay. Yeah, second base about to finish up here. Harvester looking like he's just going to sit on one base yet again, though.
Yeah. And if he's going to go on the one base, then he's got to go pretty quick.
Mhm.
Because if you basically get two Stargates going with double void ray, then there's really no coming back from that.
Mhm.
And there is a shield battery there up front too. So if just one comes in, so okay, he is moving across right away.
Ooh.
This is the best chance he's got with it, I think.
I think, yeah, especially since MadAI went
Oh,
Oracle
and he's
first.
yeah, Oracle, yeah.
Oh, that is going to hurt so much because he needs a void out, and he needs a void popping right now instead of that Oracle. But even if he did, if he did have a void popping out, I think he could hold this pretty easily with the shield battery.
Yeah,
He's
with
got a
the shield
stalker. Yeah, he absolutely could have. I
But
think
only-
he's going to hold the stalkers, but the void is going to cause a problem here.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, the void is not targeting the right thing with its little ray.
Yeah, it's
So
not hitting
this,
the armored.
This definitely helps.
Okay, good micro out of the stalkers,
Oh.
though, so far. They do
Yeah.
deal with the zealots. That shield battery is a hero so far. It is almost out of energy. It is out of energy now, though. So it's really going to come down to this this one stalker and zealot to defend here. Oh, he does have a void on the way.
Yeah. and the shield battery will regain some energy, and this oracle coming into the back of the base, if it decides to, then will make a big difference.
Yeah, there's no defense here whatsoever. There is a void building right now. Just started for Harvester. Oh, he actually does have stalkers coming back home. I didn't see them. They just came off the sides of the screen there, and they are going to be able to force the oracle away. Nice pullback. Gets 3 kills, though.
Yeah, this oracle that comes in was just both games now just waiting a little too long to do anything. But it's kind of pulled everything back here. I think he was retreating anyway.
It didn't do that last game. Last game, the oracle was not able to pull the army back. So that might just be what our blue Protoss needs to get out enough voids. He's only on the 1 Stargate this time, though, which is interesting.
He is going back across, but it's kind of staggered out here.
Floating way too many minerals, though. This could hurt. Well, let's see. The shield battery's gotten a little bit more charge here. He does have a Sentry warping in, so we could do a Guardian shield very soon.
Okay, there's double void.
There we go, double void. But there's voids coming for the Harvester as well. It's really going to come down to the shield battery and how long it can buy time here, I think. Let's see. There's the prismatic alignment. So far, it's going okay for MadAI. Oh, he needs to get back to the... Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. The shield battery's out of energy. Yep, there was just not enough.
Yeah, the breakthrough there. The voids just kind of stepped forward. Didn't really target down what they needed to.
Well, they keep switching.
Yeah, they kept switching.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
look
it makes
at how
sense
many...
the stalker gets away. But...
Yeah. They kind of needed to just target fire down the 2 voids themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another voider here.
Yeah, well, with the high ground vision with that other void, though, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Actually, he's going to be able to pick off Harvester's void.
Yeah, just because the alignment wasn't on.
But he doesn't pull back to the high ground, and I mean, he can't even chase these stalkers if he wanted to. Probes are trying their darndest to fight this off, but the micro is just looking a little bit too strong. 26 army supply to 6, and it is looking like the Harvester will be securing his next spot here in the upper bracket. Yeah, that should pretty much do it. Zealots are not going to cut it at this point. Even a stalker and a void popping out is just not enough.
Yeah, the void clinches it there,
so,
taking it down.
Was MadAI he was just a little too slow on the draw, or because he didn't get aggressive, he didn't really lose anything, super unnecessarily.
It was the you called it out there as he was coming across. It's the floating minerals. MadAI just didn't get gateways, like not enough gateways. If there had been 3 more zealots on that fight, then he wins. Yeah,
potentially, very potentially. Well, as it is, we have concluded our upper bracket and lower bracket semifinals, whatever you want to call it. A round of 8. We did eliminate 2 bots, and 6 bots now remain to move on to the next round. We've got who was just going. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, we got some nice brackets for you. We'll talk about it real quick before we wrap things up. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. Do stick around while we finish our little thing, and then of course after, we're going to be doing our post bot. So make sure you watch for the notification when that goes live for our Crown Club members. But yeah, we've got Spiny versus the Harvester next week, and that is going to be an awesome match. Little ZVT, right? No, that's not next week. What's next week? Oh, that's the finals. I am lying again, man. We're just so full of lies tonight. So that is in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks time on a Saturday. Spiny versus the Harvester. Make sure you tune in for that. But we do have our lower bracket still to go. This lower bracket that we're going to take a look at will be for next week. We do have one more normal week of ProBots and then our finals. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to have...
This is where we cut it off because it was broken.
So we'll have MicroMachine versus Jensiiibot, right?
No, MicroMachine.
No, Tier versus Jensiiibot.
Yeah, Tier versus Jensiiibot and MicroMachine. Versus MadAI.
Versus MadAI, correct. All right, we'll get that again. Make sure you check out our forum and our all our resources for that. We will have an up-to-date bracket posted very shortly for you all with all the correct information. So sorry for any confusion there. But yeah, definitely check out all the resources in the links below one more time. Again, bot makers, a lot of really good resources available for you in future seasons of ProBots if you want to participate, because we will be doing a season 3 this year once this season gets all wrapped up. But what an awesome night of games. Did you have a favorite tonight?
It's probably a few. I think the MicroMachine Ketroc air battles were really good,
Mhm.
and it was nice seeing the non-burrowed roaches
Yeah.
map the comeback against the Tempest.
Hey, they
I think
worked.
that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was-
liked all the TVT we had personally. I'm a little bit of a sucker
Yeah.
for TVT, so I
Yeah,
really,
the second Jensiiibot was really good. I mean, that was the best micro, was the Jensiiibot stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Jensi has in store in the weeks to come, and I really think that Jensi's going to at least make it to the top 4. I'm feeling quite hopeful for that. So yeah, we'll see, and we're going to talk a little bit more about our predictions in our post-bot show, which we will be doing once we wrap up here in just a moment. So thank you again, everybody, for being here on day 6 of season 2 on 2020 on ESChamp. This has been another wonderful day of ProBots. Again, be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, for our next installment, where we eliminate our next 2 bots, leaving us with just our top 4 for the grand finals, which again will be taking place in 2 weeks on a Saturday. So you've got plenty of time to get signed up for all our bonus content and all that through our Crown Club membership. Again, check out all the links in the description below. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button or the little bell icon if you want to get notifications as to when we release more content, because once ProBots is done, we're going to be doing even more videos, some educational series, some all sorts of fun stuff. And are you excited to play against the bots in our finals?
I am. That's I gotta start training.
I always really look. Yeah, this season of all seasons is going to be the hard
They're
one.
getting a lot better.
They're getting so good.
Yeah. and less predictable. Usually you can just metagame them. I don't know what the hell Tier's gonna do,
Yeah, right.
but like just making stuff up. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be fun if we could get an actual, because usually it's just like 5 humans against 1 bot, or a couple bots.
Yeah.
If we could get like all the top bots kind of in action, we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, be sure to check out again our live finals in 2 weeks on a Saturday. Join the forum for that. But we'll see you all next week for our day 7 and final normal day of ProBot season 2. So have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you all then. End show. Making sure.